The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is WrestleMania Monday, March 28th, 2022. This sports show shall begin now. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for joining us. There's obviously a lot to talk about, and we will dive into all of that. We are 6 days away from my WrestleMania debut, my debut, in which I will beat the hell out of some insufferable douche named Austin Theory. Can't thank you enough for joining us here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. The Talk to Table is here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, rocking a Trashers jersey. Whose is that? Whose jersey is that?
Oh, well, funny enough, Pat, I was selected by the Trashers, so it's actually mine. No
way!
Yeah, that's right. I'm playing goalie next week.
Just a quick heads up. The chair you're sitting on has a back.
Oh, what?
Turns with
Yeah, all the way to it. And when you just turn, it's just, what you see is the back. You see how I just did that?
Couldn't see the top of the tarp?
No, well, we could see Bell.
Okay, so there you go. Ring the bell. My name's on the back.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Light up the light.
Very pumped about it.
Light up the lamp.
Light
Ring
the lamp.
bell.
Hey, ring the bell.
Connor Campbell's part of the evil empire.
Goddamn right.
What a weekend.
Yeah, unbelievable. Mostly.
We got a chance to. We almost died.
Yeah.
Got a chance to meet, the Galante family this weekend.
Wow. Great
Traveled up to Danbury, Connecticut. Now, Zito and I had met the Galante family before, but we all traveled up there. We shot a little something that should be debuting this week. They have a massive announcement to make. We were honored to be a part of it, and goddamn, the Gabagool was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Great people.
Connor's now part of the Evil Empire.
Yeah.
I believe there's a couple other jerseys that'll be debuting as well this week. It is an honor. It is cool. It was a fun weekend. Good to see you guys out and about in public.
Yeah, it was fun, Pat. Thanks for bringing us along, and not to mention, we had a nice little pool time on, Friday night, so it was a good time.
At pool time.
Yeah, playing billiards.
You mean billiards?
Oh, billiards.
Excuse me.
At Tone Diggs is here, one half of the Hammer. Dahn Cowboys. So Tone, Connor, Zito, Foxy, and Nick traveled with me to Brooklyn for the SmackDown. We fly into Teterboro, standard, hour and a half flight. Hour and 40-minute drive for 11 miles.
Yeah.
From Teterboro to Brooklyn. New York's back.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah, it is.
New York is all the way back.
Hey, that was fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Like, legit miserable.
Wow.
City's still dead. Like, didn't see a lot of stuff going, but the traffic's still there. So I don't know where everybody's going. I have no idea. But it was great to be back in New York City. Great to be back in, beautiful Teterboro area. Then we flew up to Danbury, Connecticut on, an interesting flight where we all thought we were dead.
Yeah.
First time that we had all thought. Diggs popped a Xanax 5 minutes into this 30-minute flight. The Xanax didn't hit until afterwards. And it was very obvious the way Diggs looked, the way Connor had his shirt over his face at one point. Like, there are some photos from that flight that are not staged, that people are going to think are staged. Nick almost put me in a rear naked choke at a couple different times when the plane felt like it was flying or falling out of the sky. Worst flight we've ever had. So much so, actually said, I'm not getting back on that plane. Did not get on a plane.
Move.
Found another plane in Connecticut, flew home with a completely different company, played Live Like You Were Dying while we were driving around on the runway in Connecticut when we landed.
I had a text typed out to my wife saying goodbye in case I was going to send it right before we hit the ground.
Yeah, because you'll get service at that point. Because the Wi-Fi on the plane was obviously not great.
Didn't
Like,
exist.
Yeah, this is not a staged photo.
Nope.
This is actual photo from flight Saturday from Teterboro, New Jersey to, I forget where we're, Oxford, Connecticut or something like that. 30-minute flight. It could have been like 8 minutes, had to fly around New York. 30-minute flight. Everybody in there felt the way these two, that is an actual picture. Just because... I'm an asshole. I think people know. And I would like to let you know, like, even if I'm going to die, I am the same person I am. Like, I am the same person I am. There's moments of like, ugh, like I even grabbed the chairs a couple bit. I'm like, oh, this is it. But whenever you have zero control over anything and you feel like you're going to die, I have already faced this a few different times in my life. I've thought on those planes. This one's the worst we've ever experienced. But I've decided that I'm going to go down just like how I went up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to do this. So I was trying to take some photos so we could remember this. When I turned around, well, somebody could see how we did. When I turned around and saw Connor like this with his face, and this was probably in the middle of one of our 5,000 foot drops or whatever it was, and then Diggs was just literally full hand on face the entire time, eyes closed. I go, boys, smile for the photo, and that's Connor put his right hand up for me to get the fuck out of his face, basically. It was, there it is. He's going to get out of it. Yeah, it was, hey, boys, it's great to be alive.
Yeah, seriously.
This wasn't just turbulence. This was straight free falls.
Yeah,
there was a lot of them.
Yeah, the pilot was interesting.
Pilot
Yeah, it was potentially pilot error, and we had our eyes on the pilot, and there was a lot of hand shaking. And it was like, oh, this guy's never flown a plane before. Happy to be here. Nice guy.
Amazing.
Of course.
Need to let that be known.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Trust us with his bag at one point.
But also, give me a fucking asshole if the guy can fly good.
Yeah.
Don't care. Or a girl, by the way. I've had some female pilots that were like not very nice to me as I got on the plane. They're like super fell. I'm like, all right, cool. Don't give a fuck.
Point A, point B.
Perfect flights.
Yeah.
I've had some dudes super duper nice to me. Great flights. That's awesome. Then I've had an experience here. Super nice to me. Horrible plane.
Terrible.
Horrible flight. It was bad. So we left that plane and said, we'll get on another one. Yeah, I'm never stepping foot on that plane again. Actually, interesting situation. If you're a plane company, like I think I am in the market looking for a new flight weekly. And then also we have to buy a plane immediately. Very expensive from what I've been told. Everybody, oh, it's so pricey. Well, you don't have to worry about potentially getting onto a tin can that is not supposed to be in the sky. And then you don't know who your pilots are. You're going to potentially die. Anyways, that's a lot of negative drama inside. Had to get it out there so that it is documented for the documentary eventually. Let's move on to the good stuff here. Will Smith.
My God.
Will Smith said, hey, I'm about it. You want to talk about my wife like that, huh? Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, he screams, as we hear the entire Oscars community, who is all about love. All about love. They those people attack a lot of people that are barbarian and, idiots and resorting to violence. We handle this diplomatically and everything like that. Will Smith, best actor. Congrats.
Yeah. You did it, Will.
Face of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Front and center right at the stage. Walks right up to Chris Rock after a joke. I died! Now, if you watch that back in slow motion, his feet were not set.
No.
Like in a proper leverage standpoint, which is interesting. A lot of people mention the Ali movie where he did a lot of training. He seemed to have forgotten all of that in the moment because his left foot was still in the air almost as he was smacking. Took it out of his pocket, didn't bring it from the back at all. It was no windmill, no wind up from right here. And Chris Rock, by the way, was, I believe, leaning in to hear what he had to say. Wham, right now, eats that fucking thing. Then turns his head right back and goes, excuse me? Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. And then he said, I have so many things I could say. I wonder the entanglement word. The entanglement world was probably just sitting right there. What we learned from this, Chris Rock has a fucking great chin.
Yeah.
Still got his fastball.
Oh, yeah.
Enough to get somebody to get up out of the crowd and smack him. I believe he's going on tour soon. I will go check it out. Was not planning on it, but I will go check it out. Will Smith can't take any jokes anymore, especially whenever his wife, who has put him into a lot of interesting situations. I understand I love love. We all love love. But I believe she has put him into a lot of awkward spots. I think he was laughing at the joke, turning and look at her, and she goes, that's not, remember, I'm
alopecia.
I have alopecia. That was very rude what he just said. And Will Smith goes, fuck. All right. I got to go do this. So big winner of this, Chris Rock and his jaw. Big loser of this, Will Smith and his wife. Well, everybody will move forward. The Academy, though, have to make sure everybody knows this. The Academy is thinking about stripping Will Smith of his best actor Oscar.
Hate to see that.
That'd be a real shame.
That would be a real shame because I do believe like Weinstein has a bunch probably.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of other people that got a lot of Oscars that we've learned a lot about. I'll be interested to see where they draw the line. You know? I'll be interested to see who gets to keep their Oscar and who doesn't. And with all that being said, give Reggie Bush back his fucking
Seriously.
That's right. Just taking that.
all right? Jeez Louise. Give Reggie his Heisman. I mean, the guy didn't do anything, especially nowadays. It's all modern. But I guess the Academy is probably trying to get out in front of this and say, we can't just have people getting up and smacking people in the mouth.
Physical violence is never the answer, Pat. Will should know better as a role model.
Yeah, just with that being said, sometimes it is, though. Like I'm not saying last night. I'm not saying last night is at all. And by the way, Will Smith, I think, is like a comedian, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Is he?
Kind of a
He
comedian.
didn't
Yeah.
get that joke.
Really?
But I think he did get, his wife didn't get
Oh,
the
yeah,
Yeah,
she
bingo.
definitely didn't.
She didn't get the
joke.
joke, so she kind of doing the whole thing, turned that into a whole situation there.
True.
But to be honest, Chris Rock still got it.
Same thing
Oh, yeah.
happened in Troy. Women are always starting wars.
It's not just in Troy, by the way. You can
Run down.
love, by the way. It's not women.
Love. You're right. Do you think
started
he,
wars.
when he got up out of the seat, he knew what he was going to do, or
No.
he discussed it with himself on the walk?
And why
towards-
didn't he do close hand? Just because it's more violent?
That's assault, bro.
Because of King Richard.
Well, allegedly, Chris Rock is not charging or pressing any charges. But let's assume California is going to, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because California has nothing else to spend their money and time on.
No.
Right? I mean, that is something that, if California is anything like the California we know, they're going to try to put him in jail for 20, 30 years. And they are going to spend every dollar that they can find in between the homeless poop on the ground to make sure they get the proper prosecuting attorney to go ahead and do this whole thing. It was crazy. It was wild. It came out of nowhere. And to be honest, I think it was the only thing that I can take away from the Oscars is being like, oh, yeah, I didn't know any of those fucking movies. Like King Richard, I knew of it. I haven't seen it. I've heard it's great. People are telling me Dune was fantastic. I had no idea that was out. I'm on a microphone every single day. I'm on the internet all goddamn day. I had no idea Dune was a movie. I guess it's great. Coda, fucking, I wish I would have known about this. It sounds like an incredible, like monumental, historic movie, bringing in the deaf folks together and the non-deaf folks together and one piece of information. Had no idea about that movie existing. They had all these, this is my actual tweet. I haven't watched in a while, so I apologize. Are the Oscars for movies that haven't come out yet? Or did I miss all these movies? That's a real thing. Ty, you are the film expert here. I didn't know about any of these fucking movies. I didn't know any of these people. And I haven't watched in a few years. Is this just the new status quo? And what the fuck happened?
Yeah, kind of. Oscars are officially dead. You're right. Like they needed Will Smith to smack Chris Rock in the mouth for anyone to be talking about it, because if they wouldn't have, no one would be talking about the Oscars today. You're right. I mean, at this point, it's like I used to try to see every single movie that was nominated for Best Picture. Not only are movie theaters pretty much dead, but at this point, it's just like it's not for everybody. It's just not. If you're just like a casual movie fan, you're never going to watch the Oscars. I tried to tune in for a little bit. It's the same deal. It's like, shit, I haven't seen any of these. Why am I even wasting my time with this? And then, boom, we get the smack heard around the world. And it's like, okay, well, I'm glad I tuned in.
Happy I was watching this.
Yeah.
So sweet.
I fell asleep shortly after Smack. Seen the world react, fell asleep, woke back up to pee. He was giving a speech about being a vessel of love. I'm like, tough love.
Protector.
Tough love this guy. That's his first ever Oscar?
Yeah, he
first
should
win.
have got a second Oscar for the speech he gave afterwards and those crocodile tears he had.
I was watching KFC, you know, he does an entire breakdown of everything that's happening in the world at all times. And he said that it was a terrible speech. He said it was a bunch of rambling and mumblings and fumbling all over the place. And I guess in the middle of it, he talked about King Richard being super protective of his family. And KFC said that would have been a great time to immediately go, as am I.
Yeah, right. Me too.
I was waiting for that too.
So he didn't do that.
That's what he was hinting at, but you could tell he was still all heated up, and so it didn't come out as cleanly as he would have liked it to, I think.
Well, joining us now is another man that watched the Oscars, because we did share text messages last night about this entire situation. Obviously, the face of college football and one of the staples of college game day, an absolute icon, but now he will be known as the greatest booth in the NFL on Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime, alongside the GOAT, Al Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, NFL broadcaster, Kirk Herbstreit.
Fellas, how we doing?
Hey, welcome to the Men's League. Welcome to the Men's League.
You've been telling me about the men's league, so now it's official. But last night, man, I was texting with you back and forth because I was with you like I haven't seen any of these movies, and like you guys were saying, I used to watch it and majority of the movies, and then bam,
Will.
and I was like, this is a bit, right? They're goofing around. There's no way it's real until we got the unedited version when he sat down. Yeah. Because my audio, like yours, went out for like 10 seconds. You missed all that. And then about 10 minutes later, the unedited version came out. I think you and I were texting back and forth that, and it was like, oh no, this is very real.
Yeah. That was a real thing. And Diddy, by the way, Diddy said that they were going to make up at the gold party. Shout out to Beyonce. Having a gold party there where, everybody was able to set aside their differences. Saw a little bit of Will Smith getting jiggy with it, rapping to the crowd, having a good time with his Oscar. That was fantastic. So I guess they're past it, but the Japanese version, I believe, is the one we saw, right?
Yeah.
It was, the Japanese version was that. And I wonder how the Academy told the English version one, hey, we need to freeze everything and do that. And they just didn't get the word to the Japanese conglomerate, like, hey, we need to hide this because that thing was gone. I mean, the international feeds were like, yep, this is actually what happened over there. Everybody needs to see it. Boom, boom, boom. The guy that put that out, his name's like Tim Bubba, or I forget Bubba something. I forget his name. I apologize. That thing had over 100,000 retweets. 100,000 retweets like this. Boom, 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 going. Everybody saw it.
Touched on it, but the thing I took out of that once I realized it was real is Chris Rock. I mean, not only standing up and taking it, but then starting to try to communicate with Will, like, man, it was a joke. Seriously? Did you just do that? And then he kind of started to like go at him, and then he gathered himself, and then he just tried to give away, the next Oscar. But to put yourself in his shoes, you got to be really impressed how he kept his composure. And the fact he stood to take that smack, that was impressive.
Hey, congrats, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Nice work, Chris.
A lot of people are wondering if it wasn't Chris Rock instead of The Rock, would have Will Smith have done that? Yeah, I mean, these are all things that we're going to have to find out at some point. But Chris Rock taking that, eating it, and then, all right, let's get to the documentary. That is, and then he called it in the moment, the greatest moment in live television. And by waking up this morning, any of us that have Instagram or any of our social media feeds, it was all that was anywhere. I mean, there was a couple other words trending alongside, one that rhymes with duck.
Right.
There's a lot of other stuff that happened out there. Will Smith is taking it on the shins this morning, as he should, by the way. Excited to see how that pans out. Chris Rock's going on tour soon, Herb Street. So let's see. There has to be at least 5 to 10.
Oh, yeah.
There has to be at least 5 to 10 on that, Herbie.
Yeah. We're if it's in Indy or Cincy or anywhere close, you guys call me. I'm coming with you guys.
All right, they are coming Indy. He is coming Indy, so we'll check it out.
Okay.
Let's talk about your fall schedule. All right? Because you just added something. And we have, been big fans of yours for a long time. We've gotten to know you now, even bigger fans of the human you are, especially to us. You've always been super cool to us. But your schedule has been wild, right? I think we've all witnessed it. You have game day Saturday morning, but that takes 2 days of prep where you're shooting interviews with the guys and traveling around for that. Game day Saturday morning. Then you hop on a plane, fly to wherever the Saturday night game is, get into a truck or a bus where you're watching all the games during the day. Then you travel home. There's like a good 5 days there where you're on the road filming shit. Boom, boom, boom. All season long in like 4 different cities in 4 days almost every single week. It's nothing short of remarkable. Boomer Sison's work ethic a lot higher than yours, but you are still in the department. Now you're adding Thursday Night Football. First of all, congrats. We're all very happy. So how did that come to be? Did you know that you were in on that? Did you want it? Because ESPN, I've been pushing you for a long time. Hey, do Monday Night Football. Let's go. Get into the NFL. You said you love college. You would never give up college if you were to do it. How did the Thursday Night Football thing come to be? And we're very pumped for you, dude.
I appreciate it, man. I really do. It happened. And again, you and I text and back and forth quite a bit. A lot of times me checking to see what you're up to. But in this case, it just happened really fast. I think Troy's announcement was like on February 22nd or 23rd, and I didn't know anything about that. And so my first reaction was I was really excited for the company to be able to to bring Troy over to ESPN, because to me he's not only was he an incredible player, one of the best to ever play the position, but also he's obviously a great broadcaster. So I was fired up for him. And then I did think a little bit of, as much as I love college, I'd stay in that space just the rest of my career and would have been very content. I just thought, okay, well, all this talk, because there was always talk about the potential of Chris and I maybe doing Monday Night Football. Clearly that's gone. So, I guess I'll just college space was basically my reaction. And then your friend and mine called me like the day after, or maybe 2 days later, and said, hey, I got a call from the Amazon folks, and they just want to check out, see what's going on. And I honestly didn't even really, I wasn't like, oh, this is great. It wasn't anything like that. I was like, oh, okay. And then like a day or two later, he said, here, we potentially have a firm offer. And so it moved very, very fast. And to the point where I had to really start to think about, can I do this? Can I physically do Thursday night game preparation that it takes to get ready for a Thursday game, and then do all the other stuff I was already doing, which takes up most of my week? And then, I obviously decided yes, and kind of pride myself on my preparation. And then Al Michaels became part of it as well. And then it was like, to me, I don't care if I have to work 7 days a week, 15 hours a day to have a chance to work with Al Michaels, just a legendary broadcaster, one of the greatest to ever do it. Just an honor to even be in the booth with him. So then it was even more of a no-brainer for me. So here we are. A couple weeks later, we make the announcement, and now it's a go. So I'm excited to and Freddie Godelli, who's the producer of Al's game with Chris on Sunday, is going to be over as well. So man, they're putting together just a dream team behind the scenes. Not to mention have Al there. I'm looking forward to being a part of it, and we're gonna try to do something that there's never been streaming done with the NFL and really any mainstream sports in America. And so it's a new endeavor for Amazon Prime, and to be at the beginning of it has me fired up. But it's gonna be a lot of work, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be a great time.
You don't have to tell us. By the way, that's amazing. They made the right decision. Mm-hmm. I think allegedly they were honed in on Troy Aikman. And then when Troy goes to ESPN, in our eyes, we're like, oh, they're going to pick somebody terrible. Like, this is just how it's going to be. And I know you don't watch as much NFL as we do. There's a lot of terrible teams in the NFL. It's not an easy job. What you make look very, very easy on Saturday nights alongside Chris, and whenever you had to do Monday Night Football, you had that Giants-Steelers game, I think. Yeah. You made it just look so simple. It is a very difficult job. You have a great feel for it. I think you speak to the layman's. You speak to humans that might not necessarily know everything, and you have a good feel, which we are very thankful for. So whenever your name was brought up, I think we brought it up, and then you immediately got interviewed for it, and then you get the gig. The NFL community is fucking thankful, dude, because Thursday night we got you and Al, okay? Sunday night we got Tarico and Collinsworth. Then Monday night we got Joe and Troy. It's like the NFL, we're back.
Yeah, did it.
We're back. You know what I mean? And you said like it's a dream to work with Al. Al told us his first ever World Series was for the Cincinnati Reds in 1972. I know you're a diehard Reds fan. Had you and Al known each other beforehand? Everybody obviously loves Al Michaels, but have you guys had a personal relationship before this? And how will you build up chemistry?
No, man, and that's such a big part of it, in my opinion, if they're doing 26 years of this. Because, I worked with Brent Musburger as well. And I grew up watching him the way I grew up watching Al, and I didn't know him. And so my big thing to my producer was, man, I got to go to some dinners, Friday nights, let's go to dinner. Let's try to, become friendly, where you're not kind of pretending to have chemistry, but you start to get to know each other. You get to know, you tell stories about each other, your families, and you just start to become friends more than anything. And the only way you can do that is to spend time together. And so that's what my hope is. I always have watched Al. I've gone all the way back to really the 1980 Olympics. You believe in miracles like most Americans. And he's been an icon in my mind from that point on. Not to mention, you mentioned the Red stuff, which would be fun to talk to him about. But yeah, I did a few Zooms with him. Look, I'm going to meet with him in about a week out in L.A., go to dinner. But no, I'm looking forward to building that relationship and hopefully becoming friends. And I think that'll pay off on the air. But yeah, I I think that like just like you guys. I mean, part of what makes you guys great is you can tell when the camera's off and you guys are done for the day. You're friends. You know, it comes.
Well, not Connor. We hate him.
Yeah, just me.
No, I'm joking.
But you
right,
can tell your boys, and you can't
didn't
fake
deserve
that. And if you have that, man, I think it goes a long way. Like with Joe Buck and Troy, don't they seem like they're friends? Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels, they just come across. I think when you're an analyst, you never talk down to your viewer. You almost like want to pull chairs around everybody and like, come on, you guys check this game out. Like you're talking with them instead of talking down to them. And that's part of when you said you talk in layman's terms, that's part of what I've always wanted to do is whether it's my wife listening or a coach listening, you don't want to talk about 3 techniques and inverted safeties. You want to talk about the game in a way that people can understand it. You know, and that's really what I try to pride myself on.
Well, you're natural too. Like you have a great delivery, a good cadence, and whenever you talk about like gathering a chair, not talking down, my big thought on these commentators is like, hey, you're setting the tone for everybody that's watching the game. You know, like I am watching a game with you, whether I like it or not. I am being forced to watch a game with you, and I think a lot of these people forget that get on. Not a lot. I'm sorry. A lot of the people that stink, they forget like, hey, this show isn't about you. Like this show is about all the people that are currently trying to enjoy it. So like a bad game, you got to make better, right? Like isn't that like that is something that you actually have to do, right?
Yeah. And I think the other thing is you get out of the way, you know, the best you can. You know, I think laying out and letting people hear the crowd after a big touchdown or a big sack or a turnover or a game-winning field goal or whatever it is, you know, you have to try to remember what it feels like to be on the couch, you know, watching the game. And your brain is full of so much information based on your preparation. You know, picture it. You watch film like you're a player. You get a chance to sit down with coordinators from both sides of the ball.
Oh, inside information too. You got to balance that.
Yeah. But you have all this information. You want to share it. And then you have to like use 10% of it. You have to know where to kind of draw the line, you know, because you don't want to just talk the entire broadcast. So the most challenging thing for me will be Al and Freddie, the producer, have worked together, I think, for over 20 years. And, you know, they first worked together with John Madden when Al was with him. And then when Chris took over for John Madden, they were continuing to work together. So there's an incredible bond and chemistry. So I have to kind of learn their kind of way and rhythm of doing a broadcast. Is that
going to fuck you up with Chris on Saturday night? Is that going to fuck you up?
No, I don't think it will, man, because Chris and I have worked together for so long. I think it'll be a different balance. It'll be a different rhythm to it. But, you know, you just have to adjust. That's all. At the end of the day, you have to adjust. I'm not going to sit here and say, this is how I do a game, and whoever I work with has to adjust to what I do. I would never do that. I'm very, very kind of deferential and being I have to look in the mirror and say, I'm the one that's going to have to adjust to the play-by-play guy. You know, he's kind of running the point, and I'm adjusting to what he does and do the best that I can.
So I think one of the things that you do that is incredible is you seem to know everything about everybody that's on the field. And you don't rub it in our faces that you know. It's just kind of like a casual thing. And it's impossible to do in college because these teams turn over so quickly and it's a whole new batch. The NFL, have you had to dive into all the drama, the storylines, who did what, how they went, and everything like that? And when will you start doing that before next season? I mean, there's a lot of talk right now, right? I mean, they're having their league meetings right now. Matt Rule is aged like a president, by the way. Hey, we hope Matt Rule's okay.
Yeah, good luck,
Hey,
man.
Rule, we hope everything's okay, Coach. We love you, man, but we're just, from the outside looking in, it appears as if you're going through some shit. And we know the NFL is tough, but good luck. But like the overtime rules and everything that changes and everything going on and the hirings and do you keep up with that already? Or is that something you feel like you'll have to add in there? Or is it like, I don't want to know too much? Like, how will you balance? Yeah.
That's a great question. I mean, I just think like you, my hobbies kind of keep me up with a lot of this stuff, but where I'll have to really roll up my sleeves with the NFL will be not so much familiarity with the players, because I do know that a lot, but schemes, Whether it's the defense or the offense, the structure of the offense and how they like to attack, how the defenses try to slow you down, red zone, third down, stuff like that. But also the rules. The rules in college and pro are different in some key areas.
Oh, yeah.
So I just want to be kind of dialed in on that, and sit down with a rules expert. And but as far as some of these storylines, like there are big stories. I mean, these quarterbacks moving around, Deshaun going to Cleveland. I mean, there's monumental changes that are happening right now. But that's just more of just gathering intel as you go. And then when you get ready for your game, obviously be loaded up and ready to go. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like you said, I've done college for so long. I've got a chance to dabble. Last year, did the Chiefs and the Broncos, did the Steelers and the Giants.
You're awesome.
And I think those experiences probably made me more interested in potentially doing this down the road. I think I've told you that in the past. But again, with the hope of never giving up on college. It's just college has always been, just growing up, in Ohio, it's always just been my passion, man. And I don't think that'll ever change. But I'm really looking forward to kind of learning the kind of the nuances and the game that behind the scenes about the NFL.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to getting much closer to the product and falling in love with it, that much more.
Well, that's it's going to be fun to watch you do this. And has it been announced how many years you'll be there? Are you announcing that or no?
Yeah, I 5-year deal.
Woo! Hey!
Oh.
And was there any other announcements about your business as of late too? Any other deals?
Yeah, ESPN. I re-upped there for 5 years too.
Wow! Hey, what's that GIF? That dude just hops into the goal.
Oh yeah,
Oh!
Darkwing Duck. or
Yeah,
whatever it
absolutely.
is, yeah.
Whichever duck it is. Herbie! Herbie! Hey, man, you deserve it, dude. Hey, come on, dude. Let's go, bro.
Turkey money.
10 years worth of deals. 5 years of time. Let's go. Hey, we are.
Hey, look what you got me doing right now. You got me.
Sweating. Hey, listen, just walk right over to that bank here in about a year and say anything will happen. You deserve it, dude. You honestly deserve it. And I'm happy that we're at a time now where I feel like networks are starting to realize that the people that are calling games are very important. And if it wasn't for some mistakes that were made in some very prominent games, I don't think this would ever happen. So as soon as we see the way the market was going, off air, we didn't say it on air the first day, and I was actually bummed. I actually I said to the boys hey, we kind of fucked up. We forgot Kirk. Off air, we were like, this is good news to be Kirk. This is a good time to be Kirk Herbstreit. But not just you, Kirk. I am also selfishly looking, there is other people that are watching this that are like, oh, maybe in the booth 4 or 5 years. What will the numbers be like then? So congrats to you. We're all very, very thankful for you. The boys have some questions, Kirk. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah.
Kirk, nothing's going to be that. How much easier does it make it that you've been doing college game day and college games for so long and preparing for the draft coverage and stuff like that? So the players and stuff like that, you'll know all of this. You'll probably have more background info than the current NFL announcers because you've been following these kids for a while.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of what I noticed when I did those 2 games. And I didn't really plan on it. I didn't really think much about it. And I asked you guys, I mean, I'm not sitting there constantly wanting to bring up stories about these guys from college, obviously, but there are just built-in memories that just kind of trigger about something they did.
Hey, it was a nice added detail.
Yeah.
Nobody else did it. That's why it was nice, I think.
Yeah, I didn't really go in with a plan on doing that. There was just a guy would make a play and somehow or another it would just kind of come out. And I want to be careful of that because let me ask you guys, the NFL fan, if we took a poll from the East Coast to the West Coast, every team, what percentage of NFL fans do you think is a crossover where they're passionate college football fans and passionate NFL fans? What percentage do you think are diehard for both? Like, I watch both. You guys probably watch both, I'm guessing. What percentage? Like, you get to the Giants and the Patriots. Do they really watch college football? So what percentage would you
It's
say?
regional. It's regional. But you would know this information more than us, I think, just because you've been so deep in the college football world. To be honest, I grew up in Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is an NFL and NHL town, right? That it is an NFL town, NHL town. So everybody I knew, it was NFL talk because of how big the Steelers were. So then I go to West Virginia, which, by the way, West Virginia, the Harvard of West Virginia, it was the only team in the state, basically, so everybody came. But whenever we played in games, it was kind of big. Then I go to Indianapolis, more of a cult city. When I did game day and we traveled to some of those places, I was like, oh shit, I had no idea college football had it like this. Like, I think I had no idea that college football had it like that. But I don't think that should matter. Like, I don't think the crossover should matter because the NFL fan, and I might be speaking out of pocket here, but if we can learn something new about somebody, like, that's good. Because these are professional athletes now. Not that the college athletes aren't impressive, but these are the greatest athletes on the planet, like in the crew of those. So an added detail of it, when he went to this school and did something, like all that information is good. That's not bad. Like, I don't think you're just trying to appease the college fans there. I think the NFL fans will enjoy to learn more, but it can't be fucking your entire thing, though. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be
Not at all. But I was just curious, with the because college, you go down to Tuscaloosa or Baton Rouge or places, if you took a New York Giants fan who's never been to a college football game that kind of looks at college football like it's, the JV, and they went to Baton Rouge and watched a night game against Florida, I think they would walk away like
Steelers fan. You drop a Steelers fan in one of the place I was at, Steelers would be like, well, I ain't barking, I'm an adult, but I have a lot of respect for these fans. Like that is, honestly, you're right. You're 100% right. It's fucking insane down there.
Yeah. I think it's the closest to like Premier Soccer in Europe, in our country, college football, certain fan bases. I mean, and I think the NFL gets there, whether it's, a Monday night game, a Thursday night game, you get into the postseason. I think you kind of ramp up some of the emotion. But college football, man, I mean, it's week one. They are out of their minds with energy. But as far as your question, I think it'll help me a lot just doing those two games. I just felt, when you're calling a game and it's Saquon Barkley or it's Patrick Mahomes or these guys that you've just known their entire career, it definitely allows you, instead of having to read up on some of these guys, you already know, going all the way back to their freshman year in college, kind of their story.
Yeah, highly recruited guy, or not a lot of people like this guy. Yeah. Like, he was kind of overlooked. He was a walk-on. Like that. Those types of information that build up the characters that are professional athletes are just, it's awesome.
Adversity that they faced, or maybe they didn't face any adversity, or whatever their storyline is, it just allows you to understand a little bit more about their journey, and their path to where they are currently.
Everybody faces adversity, even those people that are on top of the world, because the pressure of staying on top is always a fucking, I'd imagine, nightmare. I've gotten very lucky to meet some of the people that are at the, like, hey, this person is the blank of sport. Like, I've gotten a chance to meet like said person a couple of times. Such interesting people, man. Just, they know it. They all know it. But that pressure to stay up there just keeps them up at night. Like, it's like you have to live up to what is being said about you for however long it is. I have a lot of respect for that as well. But man, I'm so Herbie, by the way, of college football.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You're the Kirk Herbstreit of college football, because you know that everybody's expecting that out of you every single week on the institution of college football. So that drives you to watch more film, I assume, do more and everything like that. That pressure is not easy to handle as well. You have done that glowingly. College game day, huh? Back in front of full crowds, probably. Yeah. You're going Thursday night football on Amazon in some awesome city. I can't wait for you to experience like Bills Mafia. Yinzer's late, like late in the season when it's cold as hell and there's no reason for the people to be as drunk as they are and crazy as they are. How about Green Bay? Yeah. Oh, you're going to love Baltimore, by the way. Don't let it slide. Baltimore Ravens fans, awesomely negative. Like that is what you want in the whole thing. We're excited for you, Herbie. A couple more questions. Go ahead, Ty.
Herbie, you're obviously the consummate professional, best at what you do, so I don't think this will be an issue, but is there any concern with how much you actually have to prepare for game day when you're going through the entire slate, that Thursday doesn't become kind of just like a side gig and you kind of end up pushing it away? Like, obviously, I don't think that's the case. You mentioned how excited you are to work with Al, but have you thought about that at all? That, like, how much time you actually have to put in to prepare for game day? Is that going to be different than how much time you're going to have to put in for these Thursday night games?
That's a great question, man. The one thing I'm anxious about is getting into a routine. I've just had my same routine, and I known what Sunday looks like. I know what Mondays look like. I've just known it, and now it's all going to change. I've written it down. I've looked at a calendar. I've done that several times, trying to look at my Sunday. You know, Sunday for me has always been a veg day. Like just unplug, get home at usually 2 a.m, and you know I haven't slept. And Sunday I'm just kind of like half awake, half asleep, watching a game, hanging out with my wife and my kids. And now it can't be. You know, I'm working a short week on a Thursday, so Sunday if I'm doing Bills against Seahawks or whatever it is, I'm watching those games. You know, I'm actually like dialed in on Sunday to the two teams that I'm going to be calling, and then Monday, just knowing how I am, I'm going to be incredibly anxious to work with Al, and I'm going to be working probably too much for Thursday.
I was just thinking about that. Like, what is it? You're just going to be housing douche coffees. Like, I mean, this is going to be a thing. This is going to be a real thing.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is, you're going to be dialed in to trying to balance all of them. But really looking at that Thursday game, the first few weeks, on all the 3 of those days, I'll have Zoom calls and things like that with game day and the game that I call on Saturday night on those 2 days as well. Wednesday, I'll leave town to go to wherever the Thursday night game is. And so that'll be a travel day and a prep day. You know what that's like, Pat, when the broadcasters of the game, they go to practice. It's like a walkthrough, and then you visit afterwards with the quarterback, the head coach, defensive guy, and got to fit in a dinner on Wednesday night with Al, which I really want to do, but it's just I'd love to answer this question like week 3. I don't know how I'm going to balance them all, but I know I will. I'm just looking forward to kind of finding that routine, but I will not put everything into Thursday and shortchange game day or shortchange Saturday night. I'll be dialed in on all 3.
Yeah, or vice versa. The interesting thing is it'll work out because it has to. Like I assume you'll even like as you're reading your rhythm, you'll be like, oh, I don't think I did enough for this last week. Let's do that. Like I'm very excited to watch you piece it together. Are you a dry erase board guy? Like, will you visualize all of this? Will you type it? What do you do with your life? Are you a super scheduled human being?
When it comes to this, I am. I'm a old school. I like to write things down. I like to get notepad, and I'll just go through different versions of what the week will look like, and then I'll just kind of, as you just said, I'll tweak it based on how the week goes those first 2 or 3 weeks. But I have an idea of how it's going to go, but until you experience it, you really don't know. You guys.
What time you wake up? What time you wake up in the morning? And is it an alarm? How do you wake up?
I'm up at like 6. I'm up early.
You like the mornings, or you're up?
Do what in the morning? You
like the morning or no?
I don't have a problem with, I don't drink coffee. How about that? But I don't
green tea? Do you do green tea?
Yeah, I'll drink like green tea or water.
Okay, yeah. So
like it's not like a health choice. When I was a kid and maybe in college I tasted coffee and I just didn't like it. So I've just never gone back to it. But mornings aren't a problem for me. My biggest problem is sleeping through the night.
Yeah, me too.
Like, because I think just being anxious and thinking about things, and I can fall asleep in the blink of an eye, but then an hour or 2 later I'm up. And then I have a hard time going to sleep because my brain's constantly, especially in the season, it's just constantly thinking about something I got to do or a report I've got or whatever it might be. But if I could turn my brain off, that would be great. But it just doesn't. I'm sure you experience the same thing.
Yeah. I was about to say, I'll start texting you during the season whenever I'm having those same things just to see if we're happening to sync up at the same time. Herbie, what's going on? Like 3:15 a.m. Just some random number to you. Wake up 3:15. Herbie, what's going on? Yeah, I'm up for at least the next 2 hours because my brain wants to figure out right now how we're talking about whatever it is. It's a gift and a curse, man. It is. I can't wait to see you balance your energy, because I remember that one fall when I was doing get up on Mondays in New York, and then I was doing my show from New York, and then hopping on a plane. We'd fly back Tuesday, Wednesday, fly to the Thursday night football thing, do the show from the back of a box truck on Thursday, then fly back after that game to Indy, then there for a few weeks getting the invite to College Game Day, which was awesome, flying to wherever game day was. On Sunday, when like, okay, this is what my show is about, I was dead. I mean, just absolutely dead. I gained like 80 pounds, I think. Remember you and me on the national championship right beforehand? We literally said, we're going to lose some weight this offseason. We were literally having that full conversation. I'm excited to see you handle that whole thing.
But dude, here's the thing. You set your mind to do it. Like if you did what you just described in the off season, when there was a little bit of downtime, whatever that might be for you, it's like your brain, you set your mind for what it needs to do, and you can go on a plane and sleep for 2 hours and get up, but it's just, I don't know. It's like you can go on adrenaline when you set your mind to something, and if you tried to do that when it was downtime, you would just be dead. You couldn't do it. But there's something about adrenaline that's your best friend. When you go through what you're describing. Thank God it's only for 4 months. I mean, you couldn't do it for 12, but that's what's really carried me. I think, honestly, I'm not just saying this, loving the game as much as I do is my adrenaline. And that allows me to kind of just not worry about sleep or not worry about what I'm eating, or you just go because you love doing it.
And I talked about this on my Instagram yesterday. It's like what I watched my dad do. Like, my dad was a truck driving mover. Okay, he was a long haul truck driver and a mover at the same time. So what are the two worst jobs? Okay, probably mover would be the worst job of all time. Nobody likes that. No. And then truck driving, you're like on a road all by yourself basically. He was that, right? So whenever I get see somebody who is potentially in a job that is not oh man, I don't know if I can go today or whatever. It's like, shut the fuck up. This is not actual work, right? Like, what we get to do is not actual work, but managing your energy so you can be worth a shit is so fascinating. Like, it's been a constant battle for me as well. That's why, looking up to a guy like you, who last year your schedule, and once we got to see it, I'm like, oh my God, this dude's on the road, on the move, I can't wait for you, dude. But super pumped for you.
What you're describing is perspective, and that's, and just appreciation, if you genuinely have perspective and appreciation for what you do, who gives a shit? You're traveling here, you're flying here, you're sleeping on a plane. Really? Like that's your hard time. So yeah, I'm not saying what you and I and others do in this industry is easy. I'm just saying, let's all just have some perspective and let's just make it work. And
hey, let's enjoy sports, by the way. Hey, we can enjoy sports.
Yeah.
I mean, that is something that almost gets lost in this entire thing, is you're allowed to enjoy it. You're allowed to be like, oh, this guy's really good, as opposed to just pointing out who the really good person just beat. There's a way to kind of view the game in a different lens, as a celebration. We're all so lucky, fucking very lucky.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Kirk, Al Michaels' former partner Collinsworth had a little slide in. Have you thought about doing a Herbie hop into the booth maybe when it's time and he introduces you?
Man, I thought about that because I've obviously watched Chris do that a lot. On social media, it's been crazy. But man, I would ask you guys, I'm not going to copy. It's like when Lee Corso eventually has to retire, there's no way somebody's going to come on game day and put on a headgear. It retires with Lee Corso, right? And Chris, I'm not saying the slide and the headgear are the same, but it's his thing, right? I'm not going to do that. I feel like an idiot doing that,
Could you imagine? Hey, could you imagine your first game, just everybody be like, look at this guy stealing Collinsworth's thing. You know what I mean? You would get buried for that.
My whole thing, my whole career is I've never had a thing.
No, you do. Don't you have two remotes in your? I feel like when they cut or I see a photo.
Here's my two things. I do have a little remote, and I have air conditioning wherever the hell I go. I have air conditioning with me at all times because I run hot. It's the way I've been since I was a baby. So those are my only two things. But I've never had a thing like a shtick, and I'm just not. I don't think I'm talented enough to do. The way I'm talking to you guys right now is just the way I talk on the air too.
Hold on. What was that? The school in New Orleans.
Tulane.
Oh my God!
I called a Tulane game on that Thursday night, and it was a little later in the season, I think. So
No, it was the first one, so it was August.
no, not Tulane. Then was it Tulane?
Yeah, it's the one where you sprint from the field up to the press
Was that the
box.
first? No, Cincinnati UCLA was the first one, right?
Yeah.
So it was early though.
It was the third one, I think.
It was hot as hell down there. Yeah, I thought it was later because I thought I was fatter, but I might have just been fatter going into the season. Tulane, hey, Tulane, dude. It was 7,000 degrees. That booth, it's a 3-man booth. Me, Hasselbeck, Amin, 2 spotters, right? Hasselbeck's got a guy. Amin's got a guy. I'm in the corner down there. You know, everybody was very nice to us, but it was very hot. Man, I lost 70 pounds that night. That my suit was like wrapped to my arm because sweat was so thick in it. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to survive this in time.
Dude, no one knows heat. Like, not Tulane in New Orleans, but Baton Rouge in September.
So you got a little box, like a window one?
I mean, here's the thing. Air doesn't move. Like, it's almost like, is there oxygen in the area anywhere that I can get? Because I can't breathe. And I'm just sitting here for 3 hours. It's like sitting in a sauna. Set that sauna at about, 140. Put your suit on. Make sure your tie is real tight.
And makeup. Make sure the makeup, and you're not glistening. Yeah.
We got lights. We got lights with more heat. Yeah, so it could be 35 degrees out in Pittsburgh, and I got my air conditioning unit underneath the desk. When you come to work at game day, you're going to look at me and say, dude, you seriously got the AC on still? Yeah, I will. And you'll laugh at me.
Hey, listen. You just plug it in? Is it a little bit?
I
heard that. Yeah, I heard the game day thing, and I was wondering, like, all right, if this guy's able to plug in an air conditioning under him, that probably means is there an ability for me to have an air conditioning under a potential table if that was to be the case? You know, these are all things to think. I run very hot as well, very very hot, Herbie.
Good.
Yeah.
You'll see they all make fun of me because I'm always getting air conditioning. And they're like Dez, especially. I mean, when I see any moisture on Dez's forehead, I'm like, I'm dead. Dez doesn't sweat. He lives in Miami. He never gets hot, you know. And Pollock's the same way. So yeah, you'll be my teammate when it comes to the AC.
A lot of guaranteeing things there. Yeah. The way your tone of saying things is very fascinating. You know, that was it was almost like you were making an announcement the way you were saying it. I would like to let everybody know there's no announcement being made.
No, but I look forward to that announcement. You're going to have me on the show when you make that announcement.
Oh, man, it would be great to have you. All right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We appreciate you, man. You're awesome. Your dogs are awesome. Thank you for coming on the show today, man.
Hey, two things. Number one, this is what I look at. Vinny.
Oh.
Hey, good boy.
What's up, dog?
Theo, good boy. And here's Mitch over here. He's a 1-year-old. Mitch.
What up, Mitch? How's it going?
He's by a balloon.
Yeah.
There he is right there.
That's awesome.
Hey, he's Mitch Batten, 1-year-old golden retriever. A lot of energy, right? I mean, that's
a lot of energy. So I had to show you the boys, and then I want to wish you good luck on Saturday.
Hey, Sunday.
Or Sunday. I know that just watching you, and I know how much how passionate you are. We're talking about passion for football. I know how passionate you are about that. So this is going to be a great opportunity for you to do your thing, and a lot of people to watch you. I just want to know, you've been practicing there at your office where you're going up and you're going to do one of those deals up in the air like 20 feet.
Yeah, you Ohio guys love the word deals. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, Herbie, so I got to be ready for whatever, whenever, however. You know, I'm hoping this thing ends quick, you know, like a Tyson fight. You know, I'm hoping this is very quick, somehow kick to the head, 1, 2, 3, place goes bananas, I assume. But if we have to go a little longer, I am preparing myself for everything. I just flexed on you there. I'm in probably the best shape I've ever been in. Honestly, probably the best shape I've ever been in.
Dude, you're shredded right now.
Thank you. I should have done this in the NFL. You know, I should have.
It's working, whatever you're doing there. Now, this guy's a smart ass, right? This guy that's smacking you across the head, and he's kind of taunting you a little bit.
3 times, Herbie. 2 in this side, One in this side, he's a young little punk. You know, he doesn't know what he doesn't know. I don't know how he's going to be 10 years from now. I assume when I was 24, there's a chance I was a little punk bitch too to certain people. He's Vince McMahon's kind of right-hand guy too, so he kind of wields the power of the boss over your head. He's a bitch. You know, that's what he is. And I'm doing what a lot of people want to do, Herbie. That's what I'm getting a chance to do what a lot of people want to do on Sunday, so I got to do it for all of us.
That's going to feel good. I cannot wait to watch this.
Man, thank you, Herbie.
Are you going to talk a lot of shit, you think? Like, after you beat him, you're going to grab the mic and talk trash, or what are you going to do?
Herbie, I was a pretty chatty guy in all sports that I played. Yes, I was pretty chatty. Not negative, though. Always always very positive. Woo! Hey.
You're fun with the mic. Like when you were at the draft in Nashville, and you said, you probably don't know who I am.
Bingo.
Because I was the punter. And we didn't punt very often when we played the Titans.
Yes.
Like, it's like that.
Hey, good delivery, by the way, by you. Yeah. And also, that joke pretty high. I mean, pretty high level joke there.
That was a great moment. And half of them didn't even know what you meant. You know, it was just kind of right over top of
the
head.
But Herbie, I'm going to talk about this, and I don't know if I should tell you this now or later, but everything I do is for the internet. So like everything I say is for the internet. Everything I do is for the internet. That draft speech, 100% just for the internet. So it's like I want the live audience to have a good time, and that makes for better internet, by the way, if the people in the building are doing it. But I know that my words will eventually get picked apart in a tweet probably. So that is really, my entire thought process almost every single day, you know?
Yeah, well, that's part of it. You've handled that really well. I mean, it's a balancing act because you're trying to please two parties, the live audience and then also the internet.
Yeah, but if the live audience is having a good time, the internet's having a good time. Yeah. You know, I think that's what gets missed. Like if the people there are having the time of their life, that's a better mood to watch a video in. Like I just think it kind of all ties in, you know?
Yep.
All right.
No doubt. You're going to crush it, man.
I hope so, dude.
I'll be dialed in.
Hey, I've been training, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I've been training, Herbie. All right, dude. Have a good one. Thank you for the hour conversation. Congrats on Amazon. Congrats on ESPN. 10 years worth of deals in 5 years. Herb Street got the Brinks truck delivered.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football analyst and College Game Day host and College Football Night in America. Mm-hmm. What's your Saturday night game called?
It's just Saturday Night Primetime, ABC.
Woo! Wow. Kirk Herbstreit, you're the man. He's the best, dude.
Yeah.
He is the best.
Pumped for him to be in the
NFL.
NFL.
That is one thing that I always thought was good internet. Always have, always will. If you get a good environment, if you see everybody having a blast, that's good internet, in my eyes. There's people that don't like it, but I always think, I want to see what the people there are feeling like. Mm-hmm. How do they think this is going?
Even sometimes like last night, if everyone in the audience is uncomfortable, it's still great internet.
Very true. But almost better internet for
that
particular.
So right.
Absolutely.
A lot of somebody tweeted out a bunch of pictures of a bunch of people that were there. I don't know if those photos were real.
I didn't want to trust it. I couldn't trust it.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I didn't go for it. Because I don't think that if The Rock was there, we would have known.
No, yeah. The Gosling photo was from 2017.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was no reason Mel Gibson to be at the Oscars in 2022.
Yeah, so I didn't trust it. All right, good. By the way, I don't know the Oscars well enough to know that particular factor. Mm-hmm. Well, I would just assume everybody's allowed to be there that's ever been in anything.
Mel's just...
What?
Mel's been kind of...
Had a rough couple years.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the one that gets boozed up and says stuff?
Well, I'm sure he definitely does
if you have a voice,
he does, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's probably not there.
Yeah, I don't know if he's invited.
I don't think he's about to be there. All right, see you all in 2.5 minutes. Will Will Smith get stripped of his Best Actor Oscar?
Ooh, wow.
Should.
We'll have that and more on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Lock him up.
Jesus. Play-by-play legend, Al Michaels.
Yeah!
What's up, man? Oh!
I decided to dress for success.
I respect.
I've been working out all week, baby, just to be your doppelganger. And I got to tell you something. I don't know what the future's going to hold, next year. But if you got a spot for me, either in the studio or I could play the role of AJ Hawk as well.
We have room for you wherever, whenever. Okay, so let's dive right into it. You know that I exist. This is awesome.
I love this show.
No.
This is everything I dreamed about, right? No holds barred television. None.
How long you been in the game? TV game? I said forever, but I should have done more research. This is 100% on me.
How about 1968? I did the Hawaii Islanders of the Pacific Coast League. Minor League Baseball. Then on to the Cincinnati Reds in 1971. That's 50 freaking years ago. Marty Brennaman succeeded me for the next 44. I did 3 years there, and then I went to San Francisco. The Giants tripled my salary. And that's why. And then ABC for 30 years and NBC for 16. And here we are, man.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Monday, March 28th, 2022, Hour 2. Will Smith smacked Chris Rock last night. Can't thank you enough for joining us. The Toxic Table is here. At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, at Tone Diggs is here in the room and joining us via FaceTime from an attic in Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron James Hawk.
What's up?
What's up, dude? How you doing, man?
Good. What's happening? Is this a bit? What are we doing?
Well, you tell me. I mean, you came in, really swinging the bat this morning. What's up, dude? What's up, bro?
So it's real? He actually hit him? Is that a real thing?
Dude, yeah, he did. Absolutely.
He didn't make good contact, though.
No, and his feet. Did you
It
hear
was
how
like a movie slap, though. How he slapped him almost looked like a movie deal, the whole presentation of it.
Yeah, and his feet were like weird. For somebody that trained boxing, allegedly, right? He forgot all of it in an instant whenever he was going to bat for his feet were like almost like up in the air, flat almost, which you wouldn't.
Well, it was probably, though, to his credit, there's probably those dress shoes that are very slippery, especially on that stage, so he probably couldn't like pivot very well.
Funny you say that. He had boots on, I believe. He had like some patent leather boots, I think, because I actually checked out his costume that he posted on Instagram, said, we got all dressed up to choose chaos or something like that. Because his walk was a little bit like Carson Wentz as well. They seemed to be a little thicker. I think he was wearing boots. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, his feet were just in a weird... It was just uncomfortable. At what point did you think he decided he was going to smack him too? Because Jada looked at him, you going to let him speak about my...
Alopecia.
Like that, make jokes. And he goes, well, shit, all right. So he gets up and he goes over there. He's trying to figure... You think he's like slower walking at some points, like taking shorter strides because he's trying to buy time to figure out what he's going to do. And when did he switch from fist to slap to that kind of hit? And Chris Rock, by the way, just ate that thing, which, you know what I mean?
So people are saying he braced for it.
Like, was he leaning in because he thought Will was going to say something to him?
Yeah, I think...
Because he probably had ears in, too, so he probably couldn't hear.
Yeah, Chris was laughing the whole way as he was walking
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, and people saying he braced for it. Remember, when that son of a bitch Austin smacked me, you see something, like a natural human instinct is
flinch.
something is moving.
Basically the same situation we have here.
Essentially.
I mean,
Very, very similar.
yeah,
It actually is.
except for Austin like backed up
Yeah.
and Will turned and ha ha.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's so
Nah,
just the whole situation. I still don't know what to believe. I didn't see it live. I mean, the show was amazing. Other than that, we all know that. But I saw it this morning when I got up. I saw everything about it, and I'm like, well, this is great for the Oscars. Gives them a bunch of pub. I think it's going to be great for Chris Rock and his career. Not like he need any help. He will run with this, and he will use it, and it'll be awesome. I think Will Smith's even going to come out like he's going to be fine.
No, Diddy said they made up at the gold party, dude.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be fun. It's going to be like a bit they do on SNL eventually or something.
well, probably this weekend.
this
Chris Rock. Chris Rock has a new comedy tour coming. So I believe it's coming to Indianapolis. There's going to be 5 to 8,
Yeah, for sure.
maybe 15
I
to
was
20.
going to say, this could be like a big chunk of that.
Will Smith is probably on the horn with Chris Rock. Like, I can't have you be doing 15, 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a bad night. I made him.
Yeah, well, Jada. Well, so if he talks about this a lot, will Jada be mad if Chris Rock has this in his new special?
She'll probably have him at the red table again.
for sure.
That'd be
They
sweet.
got so much. Well, that's an interesting choice, by the way.
What, the red table?
Yeah, just that. I don't know.
Jeez.
I guess it's a good. People can look up to it and understand that people in very successful positions are going through similar things that they are. I guess is a good thing, but also like I don't know.
You really think people can relate to their entanglements with other people and how they talk about it?
I don't know. Maybe that's what they think though. Like, hey, people need to hear that we go through stuff too.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's what they think. For me, I'm just like, and I think it's because Tom Griswold of the Bob and Tom Show told me this one morning when I was on Bob and Tom. Something happened where a story took place, and he wasn't talking to me. He was talking about another guest, and he said, "Hey, the world and people have enough shit. You know, just make them laugh." And that has become something that I've actually thought about, like just bringing more drama to the world. I think is such an aggressive move because you got to live with it like every single day. And I think I don't know how people choose to just live in that type of shit every single day, but I guess there's a lot of reality TV stars that do and everything like that. But you would think they don't have to. So why would they want to? It's almost like they just enjoy it. I don't know. I don't understand the people that enjoy
It's good.
living
Is it
in
like
bullshit.
therapeutic for them, maybe?
For the people that are doing it?
That are, okay, you like Will Smith's wife and Will, like getting all this stuff out. Will wrote a book talking about a lot of it, I guess, recently, didn't he? Like,
Yeah,
I
he
guess
had
it's
to
like
get
therapy
his
for
side
them,
of it.
maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jada probably made him write that book.
What's going on?
Probably.
What's going on? There's no reason to bury old.
What was her reaction? I'm trying to figure out what she was doing throughout all this and even after, like with the clips when Will was getting calmed down by Tyler Perry and
Denzel, yeah.
That's a power group right there.
Yes.
She rolls
it
her
works out
eyes
perfectly.
She rolled her eyes big time, like right after Chris Rock made the joke, and they did the 2-shot on Will and her, and Will's laughing, and she just like rolls her eyes, and then I'm assuming when they cut away, she was like, "Hey, go fucking slap him in the mouth."
No.
So you think she said, "Hey, go write a book, Nick," because that happened?
He does everything she tells her. Hey, Will, sit in the corner and watch. We're going to go
Oh,
over here.
yeah,
Christ.
Hey, some people are into that, man.
Yeah, we don't know if that's true, right? That never came
Can't
out.
judge-
That
yeah, we
just
don't know
started
if it's
becoming
true.
your entire.
He's passionate, though.
There's no wells there. Anyway.
I guess Chris Rock has taken a shot at her at the Oscars before as well. That's a lot of people were saying.
Also, is this an on-site type situation?
Potentially. Potentially.
Like
It's
2018,
his
yeah,
job.
the whole thing.
Years ago, remember when she was upset that they weren't invited to the Oscars?
And Chris made a joke about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Will thought he should have been nominated for Tell the Truth, and he wasn't.
Oh, concussion?
Yeah, exactly. And then he basically said, like, "Hey, Jade, I don't know why you're mad. Like, you weren't getting invited anyway." Basically saying, like, you're not a good actress. You were never getting nominated for anything anyway.
Oh, Chris Rock said that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I did not know that.
Yeah. I think that was like 2016.
But don't you almost expect to be roasted at these events? Like, isn't
for
that
sure.
what happens?
Part of it.
Yeah, I'd assume.
He should, but Will expects to get roasted. He probably doesn't expect his wife to get roasted.
Well, his wife certainly didn't expect it.
Obviously, this had
if you're
never
in the
passed
building.
this, and she probably was like, "You gonna do something? Like you got to do something." She probably wasn't feeling great going into it with Chris Rock up there.
Hey, those award shows, and I'm going to pivot away from just the Oscars to basically all award shows. What a terrible evening. You know?
Yeah.
I went to that. How many have you been to? I assume you've been to numerous.
I've been to some. Yeah, I went to ESPYs a few times, which is more fun than a normal award show too, though.
Okay, so that was fun. All right, so.
I mean, no, it was not. But I'm saying compared to those, it's more
Sounded
like
like it.
Bro, these are the worst. I don't know how anybody goes to them. You're stuck in tiny little seats. Nobody that goes to an award show would ever sit in the seat that they're forced to sit at a theater or a live show. Fucking ever. That's why they're at the award show, right? So you're sitting in all of the, I mean, granted, they had the tables and stuff, but they still had all those things in the top. And it's just uncomfortable. It's awkward. There's a lot of losers in that room, too, by the way. So it's not just the winners. You got losers scattered amongst you whose energies are always real high.
Very jealous of you, too, if you win.
Well, it's an honor just to be nominated. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
But there's people that probably love going. I guess there was a $100,000 gift bag for everybody that went to the Oscars last night that included a plot of land in Scotland so they could be.
Welcome, fellow neighbors.
So you are
Lord Zito.
There it is. So they're all made lords last night. Congrats to both Will, Jada, and Chris Rock.
Nice.
All becoming lords of Scotland in the gift bag that they got that was worth over $100,000. A 3-night stay in Scotland's Turn Castle worth $50,000 and inspired by Denzel Washington being nominated for Best Actor in the Tragedy of Macbeth. Butler service is included. Thanks for checking.
Yeah, beautiful this time of year, by the way.
A 4-night stay at the Golden Door Resort in California worth $15,000. A small plot of land in Scotland, along with the title Lord or Lady of Glencoe. A $12,000 liposuction procedure.
Nice.
Awesome. From Dr. Thomas Sue called Celebrity Arms. What's that all about?
So they're doing lipo in arms now? Is that what they do?
Well, yeah, this stuff.
Tighten it up.
Is that why everybody's all yoked up on Instagram out there?
Makes more sense.
Oh, my God. This guy's got celebrity arms. I assume there's some other doctor doing celebrity abs.
Probably.
Oh, and they're rejuvenating their genitals.
Oh, yeah. $10,000 treatment of rejuvenation procedures for Dr. Konstantin Vasiljevic.
Yep.
That's right. If I trust that guy.
Oh, that's what it is, huh?
Yeah.
The old vag tightening thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that
and
what
also, I think males can get it as well. A life coaching.
Get a pump put in their balls or what?
Yeah,
I think you just kind of lift them like a face.
Ball lift.
Life coaching session with Coyote Joseph worth $1,200. Listen, when Coyote sits down with you, you fucking accomplish everything that you've ever wanted to accomplish.
Afford Gary
We
Vee,
bring
that's for sure.
he or she in.
Well, it's $1,200, so let's bring him in for 15 of them.
Yeah.
Coyote,
$1,200.
she.
That probably covers about 9 minutes with Coyote.
Yeah, it's a Zoom. It's a she. Okay, Coyote Joseph is a she. That's a $1,200 10-minute Zoom call in a life coaching session.
Popcorn.
Hell yeah.
Zito's doing more information on Coyote Joseph, holistic coaching as well.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know. What's that mean?
I don't know.
We probably need her, by the way. Now that we're thinking about it,
Like you use,
especially this table
use Earth's minerals.
and this guy in the attic over there. Yeah, for sure. What'd you say about the
You
Earth?
use like Earth's minerals and stuff like that to create potions.
Are they immunized? All right,
Probably.
let's move on.
This may be.
Let's
the
move on.
immunizer.
Popcorn, $25,000 in home renovations from
That's pretty
Maison Construction in L.A. Get yourself a little like a grill in L.A.
Yeah.
Like a little
Maison. That's right.
A new window.
no Paisan. I don't know if Maison is a Paisan, but
Son of a.
no, you're part of the Trashers. Hey,
Yeah, come on, Tony. Jesus.
That's not what happened.
those are some of the more expensive items in the gift bags. Nominees will also get treats, alcohol, skincare items, toys for their kids, books, and other luxury items, all of which comes to $100,000. I thought $100,000 was already in there,
Yeah.
but
Hell yeah.
I guess congrats to everybody out there.
All right.
Congrats on a nomination. That's why I'm pumped. Get nominated, get your house renovated, get your face redone, your arms dead.
You get to talk to Coyote Joseph.
I mean, here we go. Just an honor to be nominated. I didn't get that at the college football awards at all. I got forced to sit through that entire
You would have
thing.
had to pay taxes on it anyway. So,
We're in LA out there.
oh yeah, all that stuff they get taxed.
Like Price is Right.
That's bullshit.
What?
Hey,
People win, haven't you heard people win the showcase showdown or whatever at the end and they have to end up selling it all because, hey, you got to pay $60,000 in taxes on all this free stuff you just got.
Well, yeah, the cars are normally what get people, right? Because the cars are normally pretty expensive. So the taxes on that whole thing is going to be pretty good. So people normally just choose to sell the car, right? Just take the cash value so then they can pay the taxes out of it. I think that's a smart move. I would assume with one show every single day for the last 40 years with winners, I'm assuming there's some people that have mishandled their funds that they have won from those game shows.
Yeah. I think that's a safe assumption.
Maybe.
I would assume that's the case. I was going to ask you a question about something. I forget what it was. Oh, you win the lottery, lump sum or paid out annuity?
I got to sit and talk to a lawyer or somebody that knows this better that deals
They
with
don't.
the lottery. What are you doing?
Me, at this stage of life, give it to me forever.
Yeah. It's more money, right? Lump sum takes a chunk off of it, but you get it at once. Yeah, it's
a lot
right?
off of it, right? I think it takes a lot off it. Let alone the taxes, it takes a lot.
Yeah, you're right. I'm taking it. I'm just give me the rest of my life.
I don't know why people that we are very much in the minority in that decision, by the way. And I think it's because if you asked us, when you were the mute from Ohio State before you got drafted, and I was the guy who got $40,000 out in loans so I could have a good time in college. If I was asked at the time, I think give me all of the money right now. But that guarantee of a payment, at least all you got to do is survive forever. How old am I now? How old am I? Oh, you're guaranteeing me a certain amount of money every year for the next 30 years. Give me that money.
What if the lottery dies?
You think the lottery's going to die?
What if you or me, and especially after this weekend, I'm going to live like I was dying. Give me the lump sum, okay? I'm not going to be here in 3 years when that annuity's fucking still going.
I guess you're right, because they say, 2040 or whatever is
True.
The new Y2K.
And I'm going to need a bunch of money so I could pay to get into whatever secret lair everyone who survives is going to be in.
So give me that now.
Yeah.
It's not going to be enough, I don't think.
Yeah, that secret layer is expensive.
I think, yeah.
100 million?
I don't think that's going to be enough, yeah.
Shit.
You got to remember, there's people with
I'll build my own.
Big money out there. Mm-hmm. How about Elon Musk? You see Elon Musk calling out the Washington Post?
Oh, yeah. Elon's pretty active these days.
He is. He's calling out Twitter. He's calling out the Washington Post. Why are you putting stuff that's like vital to democracy behind a paywall? Elon does.
Spells Bezos wrong on purpose.
He said Bezos. I see he just got a landing yacht for his other yacht. He doesn't need the money for the behind the paywall for the Washington Post stuff, like actual stuff that's probably good for the world that everybody needs to hear. That's behind a paywall that 99% of America will never pay because they just assume that people will pick through that and bring it on to free platforms. And I think Elon says he's been doing a little snooping around, and that's also a pretty big cause for some misinformation that maybe is reported but isn't seen. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I looked into it a little bit. Because that's billionaire on billionaire. So anytime you got two billionaires going after each other, always should watch. Always should give a little peek-see just to see what's going on. I think. I don't know shit about fucking this world, but that is something. So when he called out Bezos, I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to be a thing. Elon's been, hey, he's been rounding third there on a home plate trip to try to really disturb some shit. I mean, he is. He's doing it out there. Joining us now is a man who has information in a much different field, although I would be interested to hear his take on Elon and Bezos potentially getting into a little bit of a Twitter beef. I would much rather hear what the fuck's going on to league meetings. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, NFL insider for NFL Network, NFL.com, and host of the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends. Us being the friends, he being Rap Sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport. Hey, so you're there. You're there again.
Well, hold on. My AirPods okay? Can you hear me all right?
All right. You sound good. Okay. You sound good. Tim Cook got it all taken care of. You're at the league meetings right now. Everybody looks fantastically dressed. Where are you?
I'm at the Breakers in West Palm Beach. It is where I do all my vacationing, obviously. I have my boat here. I have my not like the big house, but the little house.
You got a submarine?
No, I do not have a submarine.
Okay.
But everything else I have. So this is lovely. This is vacation. It's great.
All right. So there's a big conversation we could have with you right there, and that is not for now. Okay. Congratulations on having a great time down in West Palm Beach. Let's move on. Is anything going to come from this? I mean, obviously there's always the coach's picture that is amazing. Matt Rule, seems we are all pulling for Matt Rule.
Good luck, Matt.
We love Matt Rule. Okay. We hope he's okay. Everybody has looked awesome. Is anything going to come from this, you think, that's vital, and what is exactly happening right now?
I mean, as far as like football, the overtime is probably the biggest news, right? So it's like, is there going to be guaranteed possession in overtime? Are both teams going to be able to get the ball? Or is there going to be a situation where, kind of like we saw in the playoffs this year, where one team gets the ball, marches down, scores a touchdown, game over, and one of the best quarterbacks in the game doesn't get to touch it? Like that will probably be tomorrow when that's voted on. And I know there's momentum for a change. I just don't know if there's enough momentum to get the 24 votes that are necessary. So obviously that's sort of like a big pending decision that will come tomorrow. That's one thing. There'll be some other kind of ancillary football related things that will come up, but that's probably the most pertinent. The other thing is the Buffalo Bills are not going anywhere. They're going to remain in Western New York. And they're going to build a new stadium using $850 million of public money, which, it's a thing that happens sometimes.
I put the clap away.
Ian, but hey, what are they supposed to do? What are owners supposed to do?
Pay for it. You're a billionaire.
Or the city's going to give them $850 million. Nah, I'm good. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
No, that's the argument. And people like free money. And I think in Western New York, as Brandon Staley walks by me, I'm sure very happy to see you guys.
Baby coach. Didn't see him.
But nice, very nice guy. But I mean, it's in Western New York. This was something that was important enough to put $850 million on the budget. It's not something that's going to get voted on by the fans. It is in the budget. When the budget gets approved, it'll be all good. So they are getting a new stadium in Buffalo, basically, and the tables can remain. And I think it's a good thing for Bills fans. However, it ends up happening.
Hey, so is that just always been the status quo? And I very much understand the value that an NFL team brings to a city. Okay, like the Colts bring so much value to downtown Indianapolis. Like, I think everybody who is in the league, around the league, a fan of the league, realizes that. I mean, just game days are awesome, and it's people who are spending money, by the way. The people that are going to games are people who spend money. It's good for this city. Pittsburgh, the Steelers are great for the city. I mean, there is just a lot of value up there. But has it always just been, what do you say?
Up with a little bit of news.
Oh.
The 2024 draft has been awarded to Detroit.
Okay! Oh! Here we go!
Oh, shit.
Let me tell you why this is good news.
Why?
Because the people at Detroit, okay, deserve something great from the NFL.
Yes.
Think about that. The Red Wings yesterday lost 11-2 to the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Lions 11-2.
Stop.
A touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a 55-yard field goal in there against
That is embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
Take it easy.
First time 11 goals have been scored since 2003 for the Washington Capitals or something like that in the salary cap era. They are a fucking despicable AHL franchise, let alone NHL franchise. Keep the octopi back into the sea. You guys stink. Anyways, how about Gino dropping a hat trick on you? I did not expect to get into hockey talkie, and I'm sorry we're wasting your time. But then the Lions fan. I mean, the Lions fans have had to watch this turnover after turnover after turnover after turnover. Now they get to watch Hard Knocks with the kid. Here we go. Hard Knocks going to be a good time. Let's learn about the douche. And now we'll actually get to see what's in that building, what has been going on. The fans are, and they get the draft. Good for the Detroit people.
Will this be the first time that the number 1 overall pick is in the same city as where the draft is happening?
Oh my God.
It's actually a good question.
No. 2024. So are they going to have the number 1 pick in 2024?
Yeah, they will.
Hard Knocks.
You think?
They got the Hard Knocks curse now.
Just bet on it. Yeah.
Not allowed.
Congrats.
Hey,
Nice
that's
job,
awesome.
Detroit.
Good for Detroit.
Hey, great piece of information.
It's also, I think, a really cool thing because, like, Detroit is probably not going to get a Super Bowl, right? I mean, I think that's fair to say. But they have beautiful facilities, and they're a football crazy place. And they get the draft, which is awesome. Like, that is a great way to show off Detroit and to celebrate football. And it's Kansas City, it's Detroit, it's all the places that are awesome but probably won't get Super Bowls. It is a solid prize.
Okay, so let's talk about that with what I was about to ask you about. So since the Bills are building a new stadium and how much value they bring to a city, one of those values is the Super Bowl. So since it's a new stadium, I think it's one of the unwritten rules, or it actually is written in the NFL. If you build a new stadium, we'll send a Super Bowl your way. Are we looking at a potential February Super Bowl in Buffalo?
Roger Goodell talks tomorrow, and I would say that will be, if I get a chance to ask a question, that will be my question, because that was the first thing I thought about. And, like, I mean, we just did LA. It was amazing. It looked incredible. The game was good. Like, that was their prize for that mecca of football that they created in Los Angeles. Like, do the Bills, we're going to get a $1.4 billion new stadium, open air, awesome stadium. Do they get it too? And, like, my first inclination will be to say, I can't imagine the Super Bowl in Western New York. On the other hand, they sort of deserve it if you get a new stadium. So, like, I don't know. That's a good question.
Ian, you said Roger Goodell speaks tomorrow.
Would be amazing.
How does that work when he speaks? Who sets it up? Like you said, if you get to ask a question, who do we know is going to get to ask a question? And how many people get to actually fire stuff at him?
And do you have to submit your questions beforehand?
No. You just sort of basically the way. So like when the meetings wrap up tomorrow, he will get to the podium and he'll talk about all the different things, like the diversity initiative that will come out at some point today, the Bill Stadium. He will probably answer questions on Deshaun Watson. You know, is he looking at a suspension or not? There's a couple other kind of league matters that he will, like things hanging over the league that are out there. And basically, you'll raise your hand and they will give you the microphone. You can ask whatever you want. It's really just
who picks?
Do I get my hand up fat? There's a Brian McCarthy, the head of NFL PR. Sometimes will kind of like point to you. Your turn first, then you. And, you don't, it's also televised, so you got to get the mic so they can hear your question on TV. You just got to get your hand up quick and be like, yo, right here. Like, I got, and then hopefully you get called on.
I attended, I forget if it was a seminar or a camp whenever I was a kid. And the person who was talking to somebody in the crowd was definitely talking to the person behind the person who thought that they were being talked to. So there was two people being talked to at the same time, two different actual full celebrations to go up on the stage. One of the kids had to have their heart broken.
Oh,
but I can see it. I assume it happens a lot in this press conference.
Yeah.
Like you, no. Me, yeah, okay. Like somebody gets jumped over, like you get punked by whoever's behind you, and they ask a bad question. Is this like Roger Goodell's Super Bowl? These things, like he's prepping all last night for this press conference. You think this is what he's been prepping for? He's getting, he's going through all different scenarios. Do they have a mock press conference? You think for him going into this?
No, but I think the Super Bowl press conference is usually bigger because it's like in a big ballroom like this. Like you look around, like, this is pretty relaxed. I'm not even wearing a tie. Like, I am not wearing a tie today. That
Casual.
Holy
shit.
Wow. Yep.
All right.
So that's and he will probably he might be in a polo.
Ooh.
We'll see. So it's a little more relaxed usually. Super Bowl press conferences could literally be anything, and I think he preps for that. He kind of goes through it with his different people and kind of looks at all the different things that could be asked. This is a little more chill.
What was that? What happened?
That was a tweet from Mike Garafolo.
Oh, he's at a pro day.
He's at Sam Howell's pro day. Pretty interesting development.
What happened?
No, we'll see what happens.
You said pretty interesting development. You didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
Didn't even look at it.
No, I mean the fact that the Sam Howell pro day. Who's there? Who's not? Giants have 4 people there. I think that's interesting. We'll see what happens.
Oh, it is an interesting development. All right, got a baby Rap Sheet. Go ahead, Ty.
Rap Sheet, there are still a lot of marquee free agents available. Do you expect any of these guys to sign within the next few days or weeks, or are teams pretty much just going to stand pat until after the draft?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably what will happen is there'll be a de facto deadline right before the draft. Like, let's say the Rams and Ravens have talked to Bobby Wagner. Both have interest. I think both want the price to come down. I think he wants their price to come up. So they haven't arrived on a solid price yet. And basically what it'll be is if you, let's say you're Bobby Wagner and you want to join the Rams. Well, if you don't sign before the draft, they may draft a linebacker in whatever their first pick is, the 3rd round or whenever it is. And that could be it. So for a lot of these veterans, if you want a specific team, and you want to be the kind of veteran filling that role, you got to get in now before they might take someone. Because, let's say you're an offensive lineman. Well, if the team drafts an offensive lineman in the 1st round, they're not signing you. So I don't know about this week, but probably as we get closer to the draft and maybe early to mid-April, you'll probably see a couple veterans sign. Whereas there's some others Tyrann Mathieu who I don't foresee him signing for quite a while.
Today is going to cause no rippling developments. Is this a 1-day thing down there, 2-day thing down there? When will you get back to breaking news that we can use?
Yeah.
I'm upset that you guys aren't that excited about the Bill Stadium. I know in Western New York.
Well, we were pumped, and then we just heard they're not getting a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so.
These, I would say so this is, I got in yesterday. I'll be here till probably tomorrow night, and then we'll all kind of go back. If there's something that's newsworthy, if there's something that demands attention, it's usually not great. These are, I think this is supposed to be about the rules, about wrapping up the season, about kind of clearing, getting a health and safety update, and announcing some drafts and some hard knocks. the league seems to be in pretty good shape. The rules seem to be in pretty good shape. The football was really good this year, and the fact that there's no news here is, one, slightly boring, but two, also fine, because it means that there's no crazy issue that must be addressed, and every media is down here waiting to see what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ian, are there any coaches down there, or what coaches can you get an idea of who's kind of running the show, who may be in charge or has more pull? Maybe some coaches that have been around longer. Is there anyone out there that's just kind of directing everything?
Yeah. What do they meet about? Like, hey, this is how we should act. This is how we shouldn't act.
So coaches are divided in. Every coach is here except for Mike McCarthy, actually, just kind of.
Oh no. Big Mike?
Whatever.
What? At Jerry Jones's league meetings?
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fired?
I actually, so I had lunch next to Jerry Jones today. Not at the same table, but he was in the same vicinity.
He knows you exist?
He knows I exist. Me and Pelissero were standing here, and Jerry Jones was standing eating over there. And McCarthy, and there was a big Cowboys contingent. Steven was there, a whole bunch of other, and Mike McCarthy not here. He is on the road at several pro days this week, and is the only head coach not currently in attendance.
Oh, that's is Tomlin not at these pro days?
He actually was asked about it, and he was pissed that he had to be here.
Of course he's pissed. He's like the king of pro days.
Yeah.
But he went because it's professional? Is that why? What's up with Mike McCarthy?
Respect the shield.
So Tomlin is on the competition committee.
Yeah,
And basically, those are the. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Oh, Rapture, we get
I
it.
am
dude.
live right now. Arthur Smith says hello.
Party!
Ooh, oh! Send him one of those to his dad, please.
He will not do that.
Come on,
dude.
You don't like the troops?
Wow.
Decorated
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I like how we walked by and said, "Oh, I was hoping you were live," and I'm like, "I'm literally live, I'm doing it right now." Anyway, so guys like Tomlin are on the competition committee, so they are like, this stuff is really meaningful to him. So there's like a whole month-long process, the competition committee meeting, looking over stats, videos, data to get the rules right. And so like it usually culminates here. So like talk about coaches who have sway, like Tomlin does, Harbaugh does. Like these guys are very, very into the rules and have like a huge say in what gets passed, what happens in overtime. Like Tomlin came out today and said he is for sudden death. And I was kind of like, oh.
Oh, like two kickers kicking?
No.
Don't laugh.
What are you talking about?
Tomlin is okay having just one possession overtime like it is now. If you get a touchdown,
Hey, that's because he's a defensive guy. AJ, you feel the same way, don't you? I feel like a lot of the defensive people. A lot of the defensive people have come out and said, like, hey, it's on us to make a fucking play. Like, I think, right, AJ? Isn't that something? I don't know if you feel that way or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I think if you get it, if you score a touchdown, take it home. You win.
That's how defensive players in the NFL feel. Like, we have to make a stop.
It's not like you're starting on the 25. If it was college and they started on the 25 and they score a touchdown, I get it. But you're kicking off to them. They got to go to the length of the field.
That's how they feel.
Yeah. No, I get it, but the game has changed. I mean, it's like if you have an elite quarter, if you were on the Packers now and Aaron Rodgers did not get a chance to touch the ball in overtime, you would rightfully lose your mind, as what I
don't think
absolutely,
AJ.
and we'd get fired too because we gave up a touchdown. We should have gave up a field goal and got the ball back to Aaron.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Ian. Like, there's much different reasons on why you guys are upset, though. yeah. He just lost a playoff game. You know what I mean? AJ did personally because he's the one calling the plays.
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh no!
Way to go, Hawk.
It's basically that guy's entire fault. That's how he would view it, right, AJ? I think that's how every defensive guy views it.
Yeah, you can get a stop. You can hold him to a field goal.
Yeah, see? So this is the offensive-minded
Life's not
NFL.
fair. Life's not fair, guys.
There you go.
Oh, thanks. Once you learn that, it gets a lot easier or something like that. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, rap sheet. Is Mark Davis walking around with his Xbox and dum-dum lollipops in his backpack? And also, is he peacocking around because he got Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones?
Okay, two-part question. First of all, in the keep backpacks out of your mouth, okay? I'm a backpack guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jesus.
I will.
Yeah,
smack him in the
I
mouth,
don't
dude.
appreciate the backpack slander. Okay?
No slander.
So you can come a lot of places, but leave backpacks out. I got a great backpack.
Sure.
Leave backpacks out.
Smack me, rap sheet. You won't.
I won't. I will not. That's true.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to Mark Davis earlier about, and he's about the Devontae trade and all that. I mean, I would say he's happy, but he also knows the realities, which are if you don't perform, if it doesn't work out, no one's going to be that excited. So he was, I would say, happy but a little measured. Seems more happy that he's got a coach, GM that are on the same page, working together. Like, it seems to be a really good feel now for the Raiders. Whereas, like, the last 2 years, I would say it was not great there. You know what I mean? Like, there was not – I'm not sure everybody was on the same page. Now it looks like they're pushing in the right direction, and that trade was monstrous.
So yes to the backpack and the Dum Dum lollipops.
Yep.
Kind of peacocking, but cautiously optimistic.
Boom.
Cautiously optimistic, yes, I would say.
And has he done going there? What was that?
I'm going to dinner. I'll see you guys later.
Oh my God. There was something coming out of the radio. Oh yeah, it was the Gruden.
I remember that.
It was last year, yeah. And everybody was waiting for Mark Davis to speak. And then the first thing we heard from Mark Davis was he told reporters, "I'm going to dinner, guys. Thanks." And then just walked right by him in a backpack.
I think that wasn't that right after Gruden got fired?
Yes.
I think it was.
I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to dinner, guys. Thanks, man. Did we just see Ari Mirov walk by at My Sports Update? Is he at every NFL function now? And how scared are you?
He is at every NFL function. I would say he's a very nice guy. I've met him a couple times. He wears AirPods a lot.
You have AirPods in.
Oh, you mean he doesn't like talking
No,
to anybody?
I'm doing a thing. I'm like literally talking. He just wears AirPods. So first time I met him, I was like, "Hey, your AirPods still?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." Then he took it out, and then the next time we met, he still had the AirPod.
He did it. Radio.
So hold on. Let me talk about this because this is a real thing. We had somebody come to our team. We had somebody come to our team. Former locker room gave a shout to new locker room and described guy like, wears his headphones a lot. Like that was how he was described. So that is somebody who is isolated, is what was basically being said. And then as soon as the person got there, by the way, they did. They wore their headphones a lot, and they did not care about anybody in the locker room but themselves, it felt like, But I enjoyed every once in a while, what are we listening to? But it could never really crack through, like as much as anybody tried through. So that's what you're saying, huh? That's what you're indicating there? Like Ari doesn't like talking to anybody. That's because he's working, Ian.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, and I'm not saying anything that I didn't literally say to him before when I said, "Hey, you're still wearing your AirPod," but it's still like it's a little, it's a little something.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're in the networking biz. He's in the accruement of information biz. He needs to hear he actually has 2 different podcasts going each AirPod.
Yeah.
He actually has a pairing AirPod in each pocket.
Yeah.
In 2 phones. He's listening to 2 different things. And
That
he's
actually
also,
makes sense.
Yeah, and he's reading on one phone and tweeting on the other. So that guy's got a lot going on. He's trying to crack into the biz. We love him. Go ahead, Tone.
Ian, is it similar down there to the combine, like where maybe we're talking about draft deals, like, hey, maybe we're thinking about moving up, stuff like that going on?
Yeah, I would say it's. I don't know that there's anything quite like that this year because usually that would be based around like the number 1 or number 2 pick, and it doesn't seem like there is a slam dunk. I got to get to number 1 or I got to get to number 2. Just doesn't feel like that. But yes, this would be where it is, and I think like one thing that's always interesting to me is you get like rivals who battle like crazy on the field, but then they get in this setting and like you see them, at the bar hanging out, or like, we had the AFC coaches sort of interview / breakfast this morning, and the first scene was Belichick hanging out with Mike McDaniel, and the first 2 rivals will see each other, and like they're very friendly and respectful, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, like that's how this happens. Is like casual conversation. What are you gonna do with this guy? Like, oh, okay, like maybe we'll trade for him. So I think that kind of happens here.
Ian, I think I saw Drew Rosenhaus walk by in the background towards your camera. What are agents doing down there? Are they talking and working out deals for their guys?
Yeah, they're at. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Let's grab a beer later.
What's going on?
Brett Veach, right here.
Hey,
Got McAfee Show says hello.
All right.
You want to be on the show?
Hey, come on!
Veach says he'll do it.
Yes! You're a booker!
Not right now.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah,
this is
time.
your time.
Yeah.
Your time. Hey, by the way, Ian Rappaport, awesome.
Yeah.
Do you hand your phone to each time? I'm joking. That would be so rude. Hey, we're actually we are in the market for a booker. That is awesome what you just did for us there. Thank you so much.
So I get, just throw me some 15%.
Hey, listen, I would like to let whoever is out there that could do what Ian Rappaport just did on a very consistent level. just a little bit of consistency, we will pay good show. Not to Ian, obviously.
No.
But
Someone
we
who
will.
actually can do it.
Yes, absolutely.
But if we had Ian's
But anyway,
contacts.
Veach is Andy.
So he's talking
mark that
agents,
down.
though, potentially. The agents are here just like the combine, or no?
Well, the sort of like the balance of power shifts a little bit, right? So like before the combine and then during free agency, if the teams like they want to sign these guys, and then you get through free agency and the guys who are not signed, a lot of times it's agents being like, "Hey, have you taken a look at this guy? Have you looked at this guy?" And it's a lot of times more agents selling teams their players. You know what I mean? So like, it's like, "Hey, look at my list. You can get this guy for this much. This guy's still available. Here's where this guy is health wise." So like, agents come down here to get in front of owners and get in front of GMs to be like, "Hey, my guy's still available. Like, we could do this deal fairly quickly." Kind of like that. Like, get in person and do it.
Do you ever think you should report which agents are there so that guys that have agents that aren't there know, probably should not be with this fucking people?
No, I will not say that. But it's it's always. I will tell you who's here. It's Drew Rosenhaus is here. Jimmy Sexton here. Frank Bauer, who represents Devontae Adams, is here. Neil Schwartz, who is around, is here as well. Just some guys.
Derek Carr's agent there?
Because Derek Carr.
Derek Carr's agent is not here, but that was an interesting statement he put out there.
Yeah, because you had the response. You almost had a clapback or whatever. That was very fascinating because this has happened in the past, obviously, public disagreements. But the statement of the Raiders basically saying, we're working, we're going to try to make this whole thing work. And then his answer being deals are two ways, basically. It's kind of how they said it. That was very interesting. What do you think's going on there? Kind of a lowball of an offer, or?
I just know they haven't gotten there yet, but I think so. Let's take what Josh McDaniels said, which is basically like Derek Carr needs to decide what is best for him in the concept of helping the team. And I was like, okay. Wow. And then the agent basically says, actually, it's a two-way street, and we're not going to talk about this in the media, but kind of doing the eyeball emoji, which is my favorite emoji.
I like the yelling.
Derek Carr is not. What's that?
I like the yelling guy.
I like this one.
Oh yeah, that's
nice.
Or the looking glass one. What's going on in this situation? That's a good one.
The melting face one, the new one's pretty cool.
Which one?
The new emojis, dude.
What's that, Diggs?
There's new emojis.
The eggplant's not a new one. The eggplants are very.
Yeah,
that one's been used not as an eggplant for a long time.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, so you think that's going to get worked out or not? You think this is just early negotiation, leverage play for each side?
Yeah, and these are sort of, I would say both sides, when they spoke, that's okay, and then the agent responds, and that's also okay. It is really now, I think they will get something done because they've done so much to put him in a good position, including getting his very good friend Devontae Adams for the low price of a first and second rounder and a huge contract. So my sense is that we'll get something done, but this was a good, I think, message / reminder that it's not going to be easy, and I don't think he's going to be maybe the pushover that some might have assumed. So I think they'll get something done, but it might not be imminent.
People are saying, Derek Carr, super nice guy, super religious guy. We'll just offer him something. He'll be thankful for it. And he's like, excuse me, are we still making billions of dollars annually? Shouldn't we all maybe? It's the right way to look at it, by the way. Go ahead, Gumpy.
Agreed.
Yeah, rap sheet. Dolphins have added a lot on offense. There's still some money there. Have they thought about anybody on defense? Do you know?
I think it's fair to say the offense was probably the focus here. Defense was good. Now they lost. It was Brian Flores who was, if not the play caller, very, very heavily involved in running the show on defense last year. Most of the staff remains, and I think they will be okay. I wondered if they would add a corner and do something, kind of do something on the back end. Really haven't. So my sense is during the draft that will probably be the area they'll hit. But of course they don't have a ton of early draft picks because they now have Tyreek Hill. So it would be more try to hit on some mid rounders and get them to play pretty quickly.
I can't believe the Miami Dolphins are the team of the summer, the offseason, I guess.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Seriously.
Feels like that, right?
What's that?
Raiders and them. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I guess Chargers, too. Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson. That's a pretty big place.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas re-signed.
Browns.
Colts.
Mike Williams.
Browns. Yeah,
Colts.
Browns is right.
Matt Ryan, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
How's that going to work out? Is everybody happy, you think? I just saw that we brought in John Fox to be a senior defense assistant. We got Gus Bradley. We got Frank Reich. What's going on?
I mean, the most interesting thing is, like, where is Matt Ryan right now? Like,
He's
is
fucking
he
ready to ball, dude.
Yeah,
What are you
he's in
talking about?
Indianapolis.
He's in a suit looking great.
Right, but I was surprised. Like, Albert Greer wrote a nice thing this morning on, like, how everything transpired and, like, basically how the deal happened. And they couldn't, for a long time, they couldn't get better than a 4th-round pick for Matt Ryan, who has a very manageable salary and is not injured and has no issues. It was just like, it didn't feel like the league view on him was as high as maybe it should be. And I'm kind of like, okay, maybe everyone's kind of sleeping on him, or maybe everyone's wrong. Everyone could be wrong. He could have a great season and everyone could just literally be wrong. That happens.
I heard this morning they said 4-time Pro Bowler out of 13 years or something like that. And I started, everybody that plays quarterback makes the Pro Bowl, basically. Yeah. You know,
Right. I mean, that's, yeah.
Yeah, but 4 is not that much, is what I'm saying. Out of 13, I was like, oh, whoa. Why is everybody sleeping on old Matty Ice? This guy's about to come in here with a great team around him, great offensive line, MVP at running back. Got a lot of young guys to throw the ball to.
Jimmy Sexton says hello, by the way.
Hey, Jimmy Sexton, how's it going, man? Sorry to move that base around there, boss. All right, Ian, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for the time. Hopefully, we're going to stay tuned to your Twitter to break some sort of news that's positive.
I'll try.
Not necessarily negative. All right,
I'm on it. I'm going to go back to work. Thanks, guys.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport. Ari Miron's in the league meetings.
Yeah.
What a come up for my
seriously.
Locked in.
Is that just a website? What is it?
No, he works for Pro Football Focus now. I think he's just a Twitter account.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Got that podcast with the good audio and video.
True.
What are you saying? I sense that that's not the case.
No, it is.
AJ? You okay?
I mean, if Diggs says it, it's just his delivery makes me question what he's saying.
Everything. Well, you got to remember though, Diggs almost died on a plane a couple days ago. So this is a new Diggs.
Changed man.
This is a reborn Diggs.
Okay.
You know, this is a different cowboy now. The cowboy of the sky. You know, almost took him down. Had to get back down here on land.
Now.
Look at that.
What happened? You got really sick or what?
No, that's me having a full blown panic attack.
Bro, while we were taking off, it was I don't even know how much I want to get into it because I don't want to have to relive it. But, you know, in the middle of runways have a dotted line that go just right down the middle of them, basically. And I understand with wind and stuff, you're going to sometimes be off that line. But immediately from takeoff, we were going like sideways, almost off. And then there was like a recorrect. And this is why we're taking it. Teterboro has short runways too. So there was a lot. It was just from takeoff all the way through. And then, which happens, obviously you take off into the wind, then you have to turn in the direction you're going. But it just felt like we were free falling out of the sky for a little bit longer. I mean, I fly on a very regular basis. The whole thing was just very uncomfortable. There was no like comfort in the entire, there was no time. And that's not necessarily all on the pilot. Okay, we're not 100% saying that. Yeah. The weather also in there was, you know, pretty windy and it was gusty and everything. I mean,
he couldn't find the brake lever when we landed.
Yeah, so then there was a time. I mean, there was.
Yeah, I mean, we should have known because when we were taking off from Indianapolis, he actually stopped on the runway, opened the door, took a piss under the wind.
No, that's not what happened.
Got back on
that's
the
not what
plane.
happened. But they did get out right before we got. I mean, it was an interesting situation, man. It was interesting, but we didn't fly on that plane ever again. That won't happen. And we're gonna get to a break here as we wrap up hour 2. Happy to be alive, man.
Yeah, very.
That's going to affect a lot of decisions that I have to make coming up here, I think.
How much you have to fly?
Yes. After what I can't be playing that ever again on the show. Delete that. Remove. No, can't play it. That one's good.
Oh.
Yeah, that scared me a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Very scary.
Also, we were up a little later, you know, had some vodka club sodas because I guess that's no carbs. Boy, that tasted like asshole.
Yeah.
Really? That's a big drink for a lot of people.
I know. I've heard. I was like excited to get into that community, you know, because whenever I've seen people drink that, they're always like the healthy people, the fit people. And I'm like, yeah, I need to drink that now because I'm in ketosis, you know. WrestleMania's ready. I'll take a vodka soda or whatever. And I was like, oh. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
The aftertaste is terrible.
You know what to say? Nothing tastes as good as looking good.
Hell yeah.
Taste.
Yep.
They do say that.
Yep.
Nothing tastes as good as looking good.
Exactly.
All right, we got to get to a break. We'll wrap up hour 2 with more profound thoughts on the Pat McAfee Show. See them. Hey, we're up to something big. Hey, we're up to something big, AJ. We are up to something. This is the coolest moment of the history of my existence. I think people are going to be startled. It's a joke, and I can't thank everybody enough, honestly. I'm up to something. Today's a big time day. Let's go. Not only are we going back to Plum to do something cool, but today is the day that our heater horse has arrived for the Super It's a pretty big deal. You know, whenever you get a chance to give back to where you're from, especially a place that helped create me and mold me, I'm very, very lucky to do it. I'm lucky to be from here, and it seems like the only smart thing to do would be give back. Stinks here, huh? What's up, Kennywood, dude? Kennywood is named after Kenny's Woods. A man named Kenny owned the hill in the woody area. They turned it into an amusement park, which is a Yinzer staple. So Jeezy actually shouts out this area we are in currently. I think life can be much simpler whenever you just take care of your people, enjoy your life, and do your thing, and that's all we're trying to do. You know, growing old, slowly dying. How about you? How's everybody? I'm gonna give a full lead up to how I got to where I'm at. I think I'm very lucky to be from here. If you're a kid that has walked through these halls, you understand something that not a lot of people do. I think Plum is a much different place than everywhere else. And there's Nick up there. Go look at Nick, how pissed off he is. This past summer, I was driving through here because I was here for an event, and Angelo Bolino, little blonde-haired kid, was kicking on the same field that I used to kick on as a child. And he had like 2 balls and a holder. And I was watching him kick, and then he would go shag for himself, and then he would come back and kick. And the easy question is, if he had 10 balls, how much better could Angelo Bolino be? If I would have been able to have 10 balls, 15 balls, new cleats, new everything, chances to go to camps with my teammates and everything, what could have happened? So I said to myself, literally after meeting with Angelo, great season, by the way, dude. I said, if I ever get a chance, I'm going to try to take care of the potential humans and kids that were in my exact position in Plum. I'm going to give $200,000 to the Plum area soccer. I'm going to give $150,000 to the PMFA youth football. I'm going to give $100,000 to the baseball youth. I'm going to give $100,000 to the lacrosse. And then we're going to have $2 million in this fund that'll just start. And hopefully it'll only go on from there. Sweet stuff for sports. Just anything to make everybody's, the teams and the players' lives easier, better. Trying to streamline the entire process of taking care of the athletes at Plum High School is kind of what it's all about. Hey, you too. Wow, dude, that was cool. All right, Narati, back to Hindi. You're going to have a lot of people that have never accomplished anything in their life tell you that what you're thinking about doing isn't possible. Just because they don't think they could accomplish it doesn't mean anything to you. Cheers, everybody. Hey, we're all Mustangs here. Let's go.
Here we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ay, on the ball, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command line. Yeah, about to see me on demand, like, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string.
Today's show is sponsored by the best ticket app on planet Earth and
the moon.
That's SeatGeek. They usually do first-time codes, but for listeners and watchers of this show, you get 10% off at the link in the description below here. Works for WrestleMania, the NBA, NHL, concerts, and of course March Madness. The boys use SeatGeek for SmackDown over at the Barclays, and they had an absolute blast. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tone Dick, is that your first wrestling event?
No, but
as an adult?
first one that you were calling it. Remember we
Oh, yeah.
we went to
Did that
Randy
tour.
Orton. It was awesome.
Yeah, Randy Orton was super cool.
They had a suck it cam. It was sick.
You guys got on it.
Yeah.
I was so happy. We were in the middle of like actually going through something during a commercial break. And then there's a socket cam happening, and it's on the big screen at the top of the stage or whatever. And I like look down, and all of a sudden, 4 wide, all of them, or 5 wide, just doing the full. There was a couple of these. It was awesome. I immediately looked to them. It's live events are awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
They are incredible. Remember to use the link whenever you're buying tickets. You're alive, but are you living? Go live and experience something live. Hour 2 is wrapping up here on Sirius XM. Missed the heart out completely the first hour, so I'm not going to do that again. AJ, will you let them know what's coming in the third hour and why this radio show should be listened to?
Well, I think we're going to recap what went on the first 2 hours. It should be a great third hour.
Yeah, and then we'll answer some phone calls. 1-833-4-McAfee on the 5 Energy phone line. See you in 6. Sorry about it. 2 seconds early. Could have got a lot of words in. First hour powered right through it with Herb Street. We got a chance to chat with him. He was awesome. Yeah. I'm so thankful he's now in the NFL world. His schedule's going to be it's going to be an ass kicker, though.
It does seem like it. I mean, he was already doing so much. So at an NFL game, so Thursday night, will he get there on Tuesday for those games, you think?
I think Wednesday, he said he's traveling out, like Wednesday morning probably.
Yeah. It's awesome. I'm glad. Didn't you say 5-year deal too?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Yeah, I think Thursday night's going to be great. He did, but didn't he say something with you? I saw some of it. He said like this is the first time they're streaming. Did he mean like streaming only, like exclusively?
Yeah, like the platform is a streaming platform as opposed to network television or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it's an absolute no-brainer for them to hire Al Michaels and Kirk.
Yeah, home run. They had to make a splash. They were taking a little bit. We were actually wondering like, hey, you guys are taking some time here, but just like the Colts, and I mean,
sure.
I don't want to say Matt Ryan is Herbie or Al Michaels, okay, but, you just take your time. They found Al Michaels. They found Kirk Herbstreit. That's going to immediately go into competition for best booth in the NFL, immediately. And he talked about building chemistry with him, going to eat some food with him. Zito brought up the vegetables, I do wonder how those meals are going to go. Just straight steaks. Just Herbie and Al Michaels over at that restaurant he always goes to in L.A. after he golfs every single day.
The Italian one.
Yeah.
Al lives in Brentwood, right?
I'm not
Super
sure.
nice area.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, Al Michaels deserves it. That guy.
Goddamn right.
Hey, he's still got his fastball, just like Chris Rock. Al Michaels still got his fastball, which I am thoroughly impressed with.
How old is he?
78, I think, right?
Jeez. He looks and sounds amazing.
He does. 77. And he's got that iPad that tracks him.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
All right, let's talk about a couple things going on around the globe. The Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Detroit Red Wings 11-2 yesterday.
How does that happen?
Well, what happens is one team is in a league that's a little bit lower, okay? Like in a league in which they don't even get invited to a tournament. So let's say there happens to be a worldwide stoppage of sports and a pandemic and everything like that.
Okay.
Then leagues like put together little tournaments in a safe fashion in like bubbles.
Yep.
Happened in the MLS down Orlando.
Yeah.
Happened in the NBA down Orlando. The NHL, they did it in Canada, don't you know? Okay. And they built a bubble. Like if you're a team that doesn't even get invited to that, like during the pandemic when the league is trying to do everything they can to make all their fans as happy as possible. We need content. We're building this bubble. We're shutting it down. We're testing everybody. They didn't even get invited to that. They're one of the original 6 teams. Didn't get invited to that.
Wow.
Yeah, so that kind of tells you where they're at. They were once in the NHL. Then they go down to like the, whatever's that, the AHL. And now they're like junior B's team. They're like, they got a couple goons out there that sell out arenas. Yeah. That's good. Let's get some tickets sales. There's popcorn. They have the little fans shoot the puck at halftime.
Oh, yeah, sure.
At intermission, thing. They're doing all of that. Yeah. But, yeah, Detroit is in a bad spot. That's how it happens. An NHL team shows up. A Stanley Cup champion. A team that hails from hockey time shows up on the ice. And 11-2 happens, AJ. That's how it happens.
So the team had 2 goalies. I'm guessing how many? When did they trade them out?
4.
We had no goalies. We had Swiss cheese in the net. The boys had cement in their skates. And look, AJ, you know how this happens? Because when you're from Detroit, when you're hockey town, when you're the fucking Red Wings, everyone shows up and plays their best game against you because you are the best franchise in the NHL. So the Pens were ready. We weren't, and we got. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah, and the first goalie, you're talking about the goalie, the first goalie gave up 4. Same game, another goalie gave up 7.
Yeah.
Think about that. Hey,
Could they put the first guy back in?
I don't think that would happen. I'm not sure, but the Zamboni driver up in Canada,
He was getting ready.
yeah, he probably should have been on the horn. That guy was ready to do this thing. AJ, just an ass beating, and that's tough, because Foxy puts out his easiest bets and does all that stuff, and I just went right underneath. Okay, I'm betting the complete opposite of that. You guys stink. You're not even an NHL team, and I do that. And then the Penguins tweet out, see you at 5 p.m. at Detroit Red Wings. I'm like, we're going to beat your ass at 5 p.m. Like, I was pretty loud about this because it's the most obvious thing in sports. We're hockey town.
Correct.
You are a dead hockey town.
You guys are off-brand hockey. To call yourself whatever
Off-brand.
you want.
We just
you
beat
guys,
you 11-2, dude.
At
Who's
the end of the
oldie,
day-
pal? You.
At the end of the day, all that matters is we have more Stanley Cups.
Don't even start
we
with that
have
bullshit.
more Stanley Cups than you and you. And that's all that matters.
Since the Penguins came into the league, we have the same amount of Stanley Cups as the Detroit Red Wings.
And-
You won 6 when there were only 6 teams in the league. It's like playing Russian roulette. Nobody cared.
The other thing that only matters, A, more Stanley Cups. B, we have never and will never sell our franchise like you guys almost did.
Somebody's going to sell that team, and it's going to be the NHL saying, get him the fuck out of this city.
You guys need to give Mario Lemieux way more credit because he saved the franchise, but that's because
We do. Sorry we didn't have some billionaire greasy pocket pizza boy who owned the team selling your stupid-ass terrible pizza.
All right. Yeah, you guys, your owner
Yeah.
contributed so much bad taste and shit to society.
We're already
ass
on
team.
to 2024, all right? April in the D used to be a real thing. Red Wings will be back in the playoffs. Pistons back in the playoffs. Tigers kicking it off.
All right, shut up, Foxy. You're not getting the
Lions.
last word here. Everybody knows they stink. Oh, you didn't even start it? Oh, no.
The things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. It is a glorious Monday, March 28th, 2022. One day removed from the Red Wings losing 11-2 against the Penguins. 6 days away from WrestleMania Sunday. We can't thank you enough for joining us here in hour 3. In the first hour, we had Kirk Herbstreit. Second hour, we had Rap Sheet reporting live from the league meetings down in West Palm Beach, Florida. This hour, it's AJ Hawk, Tone Diggs, the Toxic Table, myself, the boys in the back, and hopefully your phone calls on the 5 hour, jeez Louise.
Oh, yeah.
5 hour energy phone line. I was all flustered because going into that intro there, we were talking about the Penguins just beating the dog shit out of the Detroit Red Wings yesterday. And I got a little worked up because the people that are in control of the microphone and the camera and the video, are also in charge of the propaganda that Detroit Red Wings aren't a piss poor team. So it's kind of, rigged against the facts. 11-2 in a hockey game is absurd. That's what happens when the NHL plays against a far, far inferior program.
That's right.
Let's talk about the NFL. Today's league meetings are voting on new rules. Obviously, the overtime rules are highly talked about because the way the Buffalo Bills Kansas City Chiefs game ended, and also in years past, the Chiefs have been kept off the field in this same exact situation in the playoffs. Should we be able to see the league's best players answer one of the other league's best players in overtime and let them duel it out? The Colts and the Eagles are presenting the rule that both teams should be able to get a ball regardless. The Titans are presenting a rule that says you score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, you win. If you just score a touchdown, kick a field goal, or kick an extra point, it continues. Everybody universally agrees that the Titans rule seems like the best one. Defensive players hate the fact that this rule might change at all because it diminishes how much and how important a great defense is to a successful football team. How do you feel about the Titans one? Because that's strategery, right? You go for two, you miss it. The other team scores, they kick an extra point. You're dead, even though you would have won it a year ago. I like that one, I think.
I like that. That one seems like it makes sense. Like you could change it. It's not that big of a difference. But it does make it that much tougher. Like if your defense gives up a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, it's tough to be like, oh, what? You got to give our guy a chance now. Like I don't. Yeah, sure. If you change it, go to the Titans thing.
Okay, you don't want it to change at all, though. You sound.
No, I don't mind that. Honestly, I like the Titans one. I don't know how I feel about the college situation, the 25-yard line, all that back and forth.
No. I don't like it because it takes my position out of the game. I think, which is a pretty big part. I think.
But why do we think that the other quarterback deserves a chance? If it's two stud quarterbacks, like if you're on a team, say you put yourself on a football team, you lose the toss, they get the ball, they drive down, they score, they win the game. Like I'm not sitting there crying and saying, "Oh, come on, you got to give our guy a chance now." Like that's not how it works.
Yeah, no defensive player can say that publicly.
And the offense can say, man, I really wish our guy would have got a chance. But if our defense stood up and got a stop, he would have got a chance.
Yeah, it's tough team chemistry there. Well, if defense gets a fucking stop. Imagine if they say that publicly, and Josh Allen gets a chance to get back out there. And by the way, that entire Buffalo Bills defense is very pissed every time this conversation starts. Yeah. Every single time. Yeah. And that's why I try to tell Rappaport, like, defensive-minded guys that I've talked to universally all were like, no, we got to get a stop. Then you hear Tomlin's like, we're not changing rules because Tomlin's a defensive guy. It's like, no, you need to get a stop. Like, this is a team sport. This is football. Your defense also matters, especially if you want to get a win. So I assume that's what's going to win in the end. No change at all. I assume.
Yeah, maybe they have to get, 24 votes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how each coach, I'm sure, has been asked about their opinions on the rules.
Well, Tomlin, remember, he had to speak up in favor of the unsportsmanlike taunting call because he was a part of the committee that made it. But I don't think anybody was in favor on how it was being policed. So I think he had to, if you're a part of that competition committee, I think you have to stand unified, even though you only need 24 votes or whatever. I think you have to stand unified on it all. But I assume there's always constant conversation going on about this is what we wanted it to look like. This is what it's actually looking like. I feel like that's a rather large duty, don't you? I think that's a pretty important job.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, just look at how giant the NFL is, and you're on the committee that's changing rules that could change games, and how people watch them, how they feel about them, how refs have to do things. So, yeah, it's a big deal. I don't know. I don't think I would want to be on that committee.
Think about how pissed off people get whenever you change rules to like basketball.
Oh,
you just change rules. Like we have a game here called U-Ball. And when a new rule has to be instituted, it is universally hated by everybody.
Yeah.
Think about like the NFL. It's been around 100 years. Hey, this one, we want to change this rule. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Everybody that's been there for so long, the voices in there that are trying to pitch the changing of rules, I assume there's some old guards sitting in there like, what was our ratings? Blah, 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 blah. What was the NBA's ratings? Blah, blah, blah. Do we have to do anything? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like that kickoff changing and the extra point changing, I assume they had to be, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I assume that had to be
It's probably like politicians trying to get a bill passed, how you have to compromise and do all this and that. And, oh, hey, I got to work backdoor deals with this guy and get him on my side. I would imagine there's a lot to it.
Because we've all talked to old school football people and game's soft, the game's changing, the game's this, the game's that, and it's like all these rules that change. If you ask them, but a lot has changed. If you think about it, a lot. The going across the middle, the way offenses are wide open now, you hear a lot of defensive people all pissed off about it. Those are all massive changes to the game in the old guard of football's mindset. I wonder how that happened. Honestly, that had to be some incredible conversations.
Protected quarterbacks, obviously. Back in the day, Peyton was upset when they were jamming his receivers all over the place, so they stopped. You couldn't really assault receivers at the line anymore. 5 yards, they're calling it really strict. I know that. If you even brushed a dude at 6 yards, they're throwing flags. Like that part would annoy me a little bit.
Yeah, and then the tackle zone or the strike zone for tackling a quarterback. Clay Matthews.
I get it. I understand why it's there, but yeah, it makes it pretty tough on those, especially those outside rushers.
Well, the generation that grew up playing old school football, that had to be in the league while the transition to new school football was happening. It was tough on those guys. And we all saw who those guys were. But now, with the way the game is taught, it's almost like those dudes are all becoming the NFL, you know? So the NFL had to probably understand that this is going to be a 7 to 10 year transition here as the next generation of football kind of happens, you know? Like James Harrison. That guy lost millions of dollars. But just years before that, he was getting paid because of everything he was getting fined for. Like he was lead into commercial and out of commercial. Slow-mo, you got jacked! Segment leader just 2 years before that. Promotions, probably getting commercial deals, autograph signings. Life was great because of the way James Harrison Debo played football 2 years before all the rules changed. He was getting fined millions and millions of dollars. It's like, how do you expect that dude to understand your rules changes, be open to them, and then also be able to flip the switch of like, oh, this isn't how I play football? I think the NFL probably assumed there was going to be some casualties in the turnover of the sport.
Well, yeah, now we're seeing guys who have only played football this way. From a young age, they were taught this way, the heads-up tackling, all of these different things. You can't kill dudes coming across the middle. You can't land on the quarterback. These guys have all come up that way, so they don't really know what it used to be like. And the defensive guys probably watch the tape, and they're like, man, that would have been a lot of fun to play back then.
Yes, I would assume all the guys that grew up in this generation, watching the old school guys, because they have incredible accuracy now, it feels like, with – you know,
it's like real talent. Like which is very like say you're rushing the left tackle, you're an outside rusher. You know, you might rush that guy 60 times in a game. If you beat him a couple times, well, okay, hopefully this time the quarterback has the ball. I finally got there. Oh no, I got to find a way to lower my target, do whatever is going on as this 330-pound athlete is pushing me by. Like, good luck.
That's why bend is more important now than it had ever been. Not that it wasn't before, but now you have to be able to bend and stay there because that's where you have to hit.
And just go for the ball. All they care about is just go for the ball. We don't even care if you hit the dude because not only does it help you personally, it's a sack, cause fumble no matter what, which is great, but it helps your team hopefully get a turnover too. So they're just trying to target that ball and knock it out.
Shout out to Robert Mathis right here.
Shout out.
Strip sack king, absolute stud. Right next to Rey Mysterio.
Such a gigantic play in a game for a team.
Yeah, and they used to come in bunches too, like it's coming out of nowhere. And also safeties hitting people, tight ends and wide receivers coming across the middle. Like old school guys, they're going helmet to chest, head, whatever, neck. Adam's apple is how
those guys know it though. That's the thing too. Those slot receivers, those tight ends, they know like, hey, this is going to be a little sketchy. If I try to catch this sucker, you better keep it low or whatever. Talking to the quarterback, that's a real thing. Like you had to worry about that.
Hey, don't throw hospital balls, Ryan. Don't put me in the hospital. But I'm just talking about from the technique and operating side of this whole thing. People are aiming their foreheads to things. That's a lot easier to aim. Guys who just like trained aiming with their shoulders, that's a completely different like work set, skill set, I think. And that's what I think I see from the younger guys. Like in college, they'll have like cleaner, more accurate shoulder hits that are still big hits. So there's still a collision in there and the ball gets disrupted. But also they somehow figure out how to keep their head out of it from even, because if you have one of those big hits and there's even a glancing touch of the helmets, that thing is basically 15, and you're in college, you're potentially getting kicked out.
Yeah.
So guys are figuring out how to. It's become fascinating almost to watch guys that kind of get through the rules, just like the RPO shit. Watching D linemen now that are like so fast, like kind of expect it a little bit, as opposed to when it first came into the league, and D linemen are like, whoa, what the fuck? And linebackers are getting beat on that right over their heads. I feel like everybody's kind of adapting now. It's almost like a generational turnover.
Oh yeah, and those defensive players too. Not only do they see this and they have to, like, hey, if you can't figure out how to read this on the fly, this RPO situation, you're not going to be in the lineup, but they're practicing against it too. All spring ball, all camp, because that's what most offenses do.
Yeah, let's talk about a little offensive guru. Mike McDaniel said the Tom Brady shit, fake news.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking to Bill Belichick this morning. He had a linen shirt on, I believe.
The see-through beater, I love it.
Yeah, the beater underneath. By the way, people keep saying, this is a tank top. Okay? Okay?
Yep, you're right.
I agree. I am right. This is a tank top. What he has underneath that dress shirt there, probably a beater. Very tight, different fabric, normally tucked in. This is a T-top, okay? And the T-top is great for those of us who potentially have arms, a little bit of a barrel gut. It doesn't matter. You can look in shape wearing a tank top. What he is wearing underneath that gorgeous linen dress shirt right there, straight out of Miami. I believe that is a beater. Now, with this being, how'd this conversation go? Just two super brains talking to each other? You know, like, I bet you this was a great conversation. I would assume both sides enjoyed this convo.
I would bet that Bill really gets a kick out of it because McDaniel is so different from a lot of the coaches I'm sure that he interacts with. He's probably kind of curious about this dude and how his brain works and how just off the wall he is.
Well, and Bill's like super genius too, right? Isn't he? I mean, isn't that kind of what Bill is? And McDaniel, I think, is
right there.
Even though he talks like a potential friend of yours who might be on cloud 37 or so.
Sure.
I believe his brain is a very, very good one. I'm excited to see that AFC East division because I think Bill Belichick's looking at the future right there. You know what I mean? The AFC East.
He's definitely, I mean, that team is primed. It feels like that's the best value, at least, to win the AFC East if they're plus 400 still.
Oh, you guys are tied with them, right?
Yeah, we're tied with them, which is a massive win after what they did this offseason.
How do you feel about Brandon Beane saying Bill Belichick has been nothing but nice to me? I've gotten along. Bill Belichick goes in, talks to Josh Allen afterwards. Yeah. Now he's shaking hands with Mike McDaniel and having a conversation. Look at Bill, huh? Yeah. Bill's sharing game, man. Mm-hmm. Bill's a goat at coaching and GM and everything. It feels like he's much more open now than he ever was, or am I wrong?
No, you're definitely right, but that's just classic, art of war. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And that's exactly what Bill is doing.
You think he's trying to get information out of him?
I'm sure, just warming up to him. Maybe, McDaniel slips in something like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to use Tyreek Hill in emotion and, throw it back to the other side. Bill's like, oh, is that right? What else are you thinking about?
Because normally we see Bill with, two hands on the cup, drinking his orange juice, right?
Mm-hmm, that's right. Yeah.
Drinking his OJ.
Chugging.
Hanging out, kind of pissed off that he's there, which I think everybody there is pissed off that they're there.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure they're having a couple.
Classic.
Good to see you again. Good to see you
again. Why is it in West Palm? Do we know?
Oh,
is there a reason?
Nice. Well, we asked the same question. Rapport said he had a boat. We asked him about a submarine. He does not have a submarine.
Yeah, thank God.
I'm shocked.
West Palm, dude.
You never know.
Having a personal submarine, that'd be pretty sweet. If you had your own, parked, you could just say you had a sweet house and it's docked. You could just see it sticking out.
No.
AJ, stop hanging out with Wexner. Jesus Christ.
You can't? Why not?
I think if you have a submarine, you're automatically assumed to be a part of something that had a sub dock at it.
Are you talking about the guy that built one and then killed the girl? What? I didn't see the doc. I read that whole thing, though.
No, I'm talking about those islands that are up for sale.
Oh. Did he have a submarine?
AJ, stop
He lived in West Palm, though.
What is this guy's deal?
You've seen the blueprints of it. I don't know why you're acting, like
I didn't know he had a sub for real.
Okay.
A submarine. You're talking Jeffrey Epstein had a submarine.
Yes, that's what we're saying.
That is news to me. I haven't seen that anywhere. I've seen a lot of stuff.
Sure.
I know there's a guy that had a home-built sub, took some lady out. She's dead. He acted like he didn't do it.
What? There you go. All right, let's move on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if you have a submarine, you're automatically... There's a lot of questions.
Oh, or you're an explorer. Like Jim Cameron went down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench in a little torpedo thing.
It's for research.
But Jim Cameron's doing it for Avatar.
Yeah. Bingo. Yeah, of course. He got down there and he said he saw nothing. So, yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he's so deep and dark, I don't think he saw much.
It's pitch black.
He had lights.
I thought they all glow in the dark down there.
Some of them do. Yeah. So others will sneak up on you.
That scares the shit out of me. I don't want to
go
out there.
Never.
I never want to go out there. My ears pop on a plane enough. I couldn't even imagine.
Pressure down there?
No, brain would explode.
If you want to watch it, it's very claustrophobic too. The little thing that he went all the way down, it was super scary.
Yeah, at what point, the amount of vitamins that I potentially do in states where it's legal, obviously not everywhere. Could you imagine just accidentally getting into a thought of like, oh, I got to get out of here and that thing? Whoa, we're not even a quarter way down yet. We got to get all the way down and all the way back up. How long? Oh, I was in a sub whenever I went on a USO tour. They gave us.
Oh, were you? Okay, I thought only pedos use those.
You would know.
Or the military, which is that was what I was. I believe the air. What's it called? Carrier.
Mm-hmm.
The
aircraft
carrier was the Reagan. It was USS Reagan, I think was it. And then there was a submarine they had of, and we got to walk through it with the USO or whatever. And it was very cool to see it. Not for me, though, man. I'm like, where are you guys? Oh, we're out in the middle of the ocean, down in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, this is all the space you have. And then you walk, you turn a corner, you go into a cafe. That is not it. You go into a cafe, and It's low roof, no windows. There's just there's no life in there at all other than the other people. You got to be super mentally tough, I think, to get into that stuff. I'm not tough enough.
I'm not into. I definitely get claustrophobic at times, so I think that I would definitely struggle with that.
Aren't those guys that go down on the subs too? Like you're down there for a while. It's
Like
not
months?
like you're not down there for a week. You're down there for multiple months. Like
How do you get out? If you as people get? Are you able to get out of there? I wonder. Like if you have to.
No,
Probably not.
you are in a terrible spot, my friend. We repaired one that had a fire on it, and it was.
Oh no!
Sure, a lot of
Didn't even
people
think
died.
about that.
If you race too fast, you implode, don't you?
Yeah, something with an air
pressure
bubble.
hit the bends.
The
Yeah.
bends.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyways, Mike McDaniel and Bill Belichick having great combos down there in West Palm Beach, where Ian Rappaport told us there is no submarines that we just spoke of.
No.
Thank God.
That's good intel. The Lions will be on Hard Knocks this year, AJ. So not only does Detroit win the draft in 2024, edging out Green Bay, Kansas City, and I forget
DC.
who else, DC. So they gave Detroit the draft over those three cities. I guess they were in there. I don't know how they pick who gets the draft, who doesn't get the draft. Is that money? I don't know. And they also get Hard Knocks coming up. Let's go. They were one of the 3 teams or 4 teams that weren't allowed to say no to it. So we don't know if they were the first option or the last option, but we do know we get douche, kneecap eating MCDC on Hard Knocks. I cannot wait, AJ.
I would assume that they know who their star is, and they are going to have a camera trained on Dan Campbell 24 hours a day because they are going to need to use a lot of his interactions, not only with his players, his team, and coaches. It'll be fun to watch him, I think, kind of go through the grind of camp.
Now, we love MCDC around here.
Love him.
Don't we?
He's the best.
Is he going to make us a show or not? Are we getting a live lion?
Oh,
Like, are we getting guest speakers? Are we, is he really, trying to sell the brand a little bit? Or are we getting, hey, I'm trying to win more than 2 games or whatever?
As long as we get MCDC uncensored, because I feel like he kind of tries to, he be a little bit more corporate when he's given the press conferences. He's going to say fuck like 1,500 times in these 5 episodes,
That's what I'm here
that's
for.
what we need.
That's what I'm here for. What if there's a little baby lion walking around with
That'd be incredible.
Oh, come on, dude. Hopefully that
Be
lion
awesome.
lives a good life and not
I mean, that'd be tough. I'm sure Peter will come after him, but that would be cool.
He doesn't care.
Maybe you guys could get on it. I mean,
No word.
Huh?
maybe you guys could get on Hard Knocks. We've talked to Hard Knocks representative many times, friend of the show.
Oh, Keith Kosra.
Yeah.
Yinzer, Keith Kosra.
Yeah.
We're kind of on the Indianapolis one. We're on the in-season Hard Knocks one.
Yeah.
Hey, unfortunately, does anybody know that happened?
What?
The Hard Knocks with the Colts? Am I, like, for real, am I just in the dark? I'm trying to think about that. Am I in the dark here? I didn't know. I wouldn't have known if you didn't tell me, but, and I'm sure it was very compelling stuff, but I don't know why no one talked about it and no one ever mentioned it.
Okay, so I don't think you're coming from a genuine spot because you said you let off that entire thing. Unfortunately, so you already had your mind made up that you were not asking.
I've thought about this over the last couple of weeks. I think we were talking about it on the show at some point, and I remember sometime during the day I was like, did that really happen? I remember watching the clip of Frank Reich hearing that Quentin Nelson had COVID. I'm like, that was very cool. Why is that the only thing I've ever seen from that show?
So them not making the playoffs really.
Yeah, that killed it.
Because I think they were thinking we're going to the playoffs here. And the Colts obviously were. I'd assume Hard Knocks they told us they were going the entire way. However far the Colts went, they went. So I think it ending in Clown Town the way it did and everything, like I think it didn't get as much hype and buzz. But that's like, I'll compare it to like the NBA or NHL. Regular season, I don't think as many people are watching. Colts make it to the playoffs, though. I bet that those numbers,
You're right. There's less teams playing. The clips would be out there more on the show. You're right. It would definitely have brought some eyeballs, but man, I don't know why.
Unfortunately.
I don't know why that one didn't come across.
Unfortunately, does anybody know?
I just start thinking, too, like if I start asking random people about it, I don't know if they knew it happened.
Yeah, in Ohio, though, it's a college football place, right?
Yeah, but it's a football place for sure.
You're right, and that is something that football people do. I enjoy
Everyone loves behind the scenes. We all love seeing behind the scenes stuff
for everything.
Yeah.
And the Colts turnaround, like they started 3-5. So when the Hard Knocks actually started, they weren't that great, and then you got to see them turn their season completely.
Yeah, like compelling storylines.
Yeah, like a great story.
I feel like during the season, it's hard to focus on anyone other than the team that you root for. Like you could be like, "Oh, Colts Hard Knocks, that's probably really cool for their fans," but I'm too busy focused on my team right now.
Yeah, let me know when the Steelers get it.
Yeah, who do you think is going to get it this year?
The in season?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a team that has high aspirations.
A lot of Pro Bowlers.
What if it's Buffalo Bills?
Ooh, that'd be good.
Bengals.
Well, can they turn it? Can they all turn it down?
I don't know. Like how the Colts say yes, just because they were like, yeah, this would be cool.
If I was the owner or GM, I'd probably do it.
Well, owner probably always wants it, right?
Even the GM, I want to build especially now in 2022. I want to build
think
this is a brand. We want people watching.
You think GMs? I see in my eyes, I think GMs and coaches are like
they think it's a distraction and all that stuff, but that's not the case though. Especially now, what is it called when kids are native online? If you've only been alive with the internet, like a lot of you guys are. Like I was, I guess I was alive before the internet. Really, the internet was out, but I didn't really use it back in the day when I was a young kid. But all these native online kids only know that. Like all they know is distraction. They know everything going on. Nothing's a distraction, I don't think.
we knew the internet existed. We utilized the internet, but we didn't have internet on our phones. I think that's the generational change. The people that have the internet in their pocket, the computers in their pocket. I think that
everything is a distraction. That's the thing. Like when you come up with everything, always knowing all this stuff that's going on, all these distractions, I think it becomes irrelevant. Like it's not a distraction anymore.
That's why all these young dudes like seem to have the souls of like 70-year-olds. They're also just quiet. None of them go out. It feels like they're all just kind of super. They always say the right things.
They're fun too.
Yes.
At Radio Row, I was impressed with how fun everybody was too. They'd come on and all the young receivers we had on, like they were awesome. They seemed like great teammates.
Upbeat. You know, seem to have good energy.
They seem to get it.
Yeah, I agree. Never say anything out of line, it feels like.
Yeah, I guess you might be right.
Except when Justin Jefferson was on the field and yelled at Kirk Cousins that one time.
Yeah, but then we asked him about it. And he was like, I don't remember that. Which, great answer.
Yeah.
Great answer,
Right.
which is a comedic way to answer something. It's just, yeah, I mean, we could dive into that as an entire society thing, but these youngins, feels like they're equipped to handle the modern pressures better than a lot of people who didn't have it their entire
Well, and
life.
it probably makes sense too, like not wanting to step out of line because they know, like, hey, anything that I say that is out of line, like someone's going to capture that,
I'm gonna
and
get
I'm going to
run.
have to answer for it immediately.
Yeah, your whole life. That's like when Zion with that one girl.
Snapchat.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like every human on earth at the time was Snapchatting with people. Zion snaps to a girl that's blown up publicly. Guy can't even try to date somebody. He's 18 years old. That thing. So he'll never do anything like that ever again.
No.
Probably ruined from it. His trust is probably very difficult with a lot of people, but they're just like kind of naturally the whole life.
Yeah, and with the NIL too now for college dudes, like it's almost similar where they would lose like a sponsorship or something like that if they were to step out of line.
I'm excited for them all to learn business too.
Yeah.
Hey, this is good. What school is it that's adding financial literacy? Oh, Florida.
Yeah.
Is adding a financial literacy program to all high school academia, I think.
Before you can graduate.
Smart.
Oh, that's very, very smart. Yeah.
Very smart. That's what I said, like colleges should have a life degree. You know, like just, all right, here's taxes, here's money, here's networking, here's social media, here's how your banks work.
They do that now. I think like a lot of football programs actually do that. Like Ohio State, I think they call it Real Life Wednesdays, where they bring in different like CEOs and business people, and then they let the players. They have networking events. They go intern at different places. I know at least at Ohio State they do that, and they do it all over the place.
That should be an entire degree.
Yeah, right.
Like there's enough, because you can make money doing all of these things if you learn about them all. You can figure out a way to make money in the modern world that we live in. Welcome to it. Welcome to the modern world. But you honestly can. It just, that's all shit I think I would have maybe paid attention to, but also, who knows? It's still college.
Well, that's what they like gen eds now. Like you go in and you're basically just taking bullshit that you took in high school that you don't need to take and don't care about. Like they should replace all, like instead of taking Western civilization,
Frisbee,
shit like that. You should be taking real world applications, especially because so many kids, like get into credit card debt when they get in college and stuff like that. Like that would make a lot of sense.
Oh, they wouldn't want to teach that though, because the university that they're at just got them in about 3 different of those things. that they would teach you about. Hey, banking. Here's how loans work. Yep. We're teaching you how we fucked you.
Yes.
Like that. I guess they wouldn't want to do that. That would not be something.
Big credit card will never let that happen.
Ever. Hey, don't worry about
They
it.
need those. They need those people paying the minimum.
Just transfer it over to another one. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, we got you. No problems.
Your credit's fine. Open 3-4 more cards. Who cares?
Boom. Gotcha. Boom. We own everything. We own you now. Hope you had fun with it. Go enjoy your 99-cent beers that we're going to let you buy, and then we're going to shut you off. Just by, it's unbelievable.
Here we are just making culture softer again. We'd learn about all this on our own. We deal with it. We're fine.
Right. Okay. Diggs, I got a quick question.
Can't wait.
I was going to ask Rap, but do you think if the Buffalo Bills got $850 million from whoever, or the government, federal, state, I don't know, if Andrew Cuomo was the governor still, do you think they would have got over $1 billion of taxpayer dollars?
All I know is I paid a little bit for Heinz Field, and it makes me feel good about myself.
When you drive by it?
Yeah.
A little bit of DeGilio in there.
Yeah. I contributed to that. Yeah, it feels good.
Oh, look at that stadium we built. Look at that stadium. There's a lot of people who hate sports that do not like whenever this happens in the NFL, the biggest league on earth, the same league that just paid for got paid $110 billion on a rights deal, let alone the in-stadium money, the jersey sales, the merch, everything like that. So a lot of people who are the super big brain people of the world, corpo executive people that aren't super sports people, they're like, you motherfuckers are raking in money. And now you want us to have our people pay you to do something that definitely benefits you more than it benefits everybody else. That's their entire angle. And by the way, very valid. Very fair. I can understand how you could pitch that. But if you have an NFL team, your city is much different than if you don't have an NFL team. And that's something that they would never understand if you were to talk. They would have that stance that they have forever. And it doesn't matter how much evidence you show them. At their core, they're still going to be like, nothing is worth this or whatever. It's just two different opinions.
Because it's just sports, right? To those people, isn't it? Hey, it's just a game. You're just playing a game. Like, yeah, but that gigantic stadium brings in so much money to all those things surrounding this place. Like, it's just a different deal.
Hey, not just money. Think about the and I don't know if I'm using this right, but I hope so. Like tribalism almost of your city, like the bringing people together in your entire city around something like that has. I don't want to say that it's invalid.
That's why the mayors do those bets. Like the mayor, when our teams play each other, if I lose, I'll eat 35 crab cakes in front of you. If you lose, whatever, you got to eat 60. Like just stupid stuff like that.
Yes, so it's all just about rallying people together. Our city is taking on that city. I think the NFL is more that than anything else, any other sport. And I don't know if there's a price to that. With that being said, if I was an owner, I just would like, if we become owners, hey, congrats, we did.
Hell yeah. When we become owners.
All right, when we become owners, we will be building the stadium with our money.
Yes.
Because we would like to say whatever the fuck we want to do with said stadium. Because once you take public money, then there is rules right from the outside in. Now, billionaires and business people at a high level, they love doing stuff with other people's money. That is like how people build their businesses. But anytime you do that, you have to listen to other people, which I don't necessarily love. So I don't think any of us would. So we would do it with ourselves so we can have whatever concerts we want whenever we want to have them. Yeah. We have all the dates. We can rent cities to the city, or we can rent dates to the city to use, because I think that's in a lot of the agreements. Okay, the city can use this. If we're given this amount of money, we get 10 dates a year to have concerts or do whatever the case is. And then the team has a certain amount of dates per year where they're allowed to put on events and things like that to profit from. I believe. Not 100% sure, but I think that's how it's been done in the past, like a business deal. We're giving you this is what we get and what you get. But I think Jerry Jones put up the most. I think he put up like 90 to 95% of it. I don't know if those percentages are right, but I love the thought of him going, do you guys want to give us any money for this? Well, if we give you money, Jerry, we're going to want 15 to 30 up here. Yeah, fuck it. I'll do it. Like, I love that is probably how it went. And I would assume once these uber rich folks get involved in this, because obviously everybody in the NFL that owns a team is rich. They are obviously wealthy, incredibly wealthy. They'll never have to do anything forever. Their families are good forever, everything like that. But now there is a new wealth that has seen a couple different individuals. I think we all know who they are. Once they get in, I assume this whole public money for stadium thing is going to end strictly because they're going to want to fucking do whatever they want to do to said stadium, which I guess is a little old school news.
And it's kind of a drop in the bucket if it's $1.4 billion, but I think the Pagulas are paying like $250 million plus. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know how Granted,
a lot of money.
Yeah, that is a lot
I saw
of money.
the NFL was paying 200. They were paying like 250, and then the 850 from the state or whatever.
Now, what happens when it goes over budget, though? I know all these stadiums go over budget by billions sometimes.
Those taxes are going to go up. I love whenever they poll people in elections for stuff, and then they give the results, and then they let those results just kind of die down for a month, and fuck it, we're doing it. We're doing it. It's interesting, very interesting.
SoFi Stadium, that went over multiple billion.
That was all.
That was all Kroenke,
right?
Yeah,
That was all
6 billion
Kroenke.
or 5 billion?
I think it might have been like
4
6 by
billion?
the time of the end of it.
It was supposed to be 2 or something.
Yeah, I think it might have been 4 billion over. Which is wild.
I mean, how do you not get a little bit closer?
Well, you got to remember, whenever he saw them putting a roof on the top of it, he said, no, let's lift it.
Yeah.
10 feet above it.
Yes.
Like a tarp, but not just, we don't want it to be like a tarp, though. We want it to be the most expensive shit ever. And we want it to have a cool design, too.
Yep.
And on top of it, we need a 4K LED board.
Boom.
On the entire top of it. Who's that for? For planes. Who gives a fuck? Put it on the top there. Like that overhang over that SoFi has to be so much money with how nice it is.
Also, textiles skyrocketed during the pandemic.
Well, and also every 8K camera that was in the country was in that stadium.
Yep.
At one point. Do you remember every suite had an 8K camera? Every camera in there was 8K, and then we're watching other games. It was like they had one 8K, and it was like, oh, this is a big deal. And SoFi was like, we actually have 45 of them. They spent all the money in there, making the suites as nice as possible for everybody.
The video board, the ribbon thing that goes all the way around, I imagine that was ridiculously expensive.
They also had to spend $500 million to remove all the bums that were just standing outside in their shanty towns. So, I mean, it was pretty crazy.
Amount of public funds used to build new stadiums for NFL owners since 2005 via Warren Sharp at Sharp Football. Sharp Football took a shot at our theory that the salary cap is...
What?
Yeah, we believe the salary cap is fake. Warren Sharp pointed out, rightfully so, that a lot of big moves have been made because the salary cap is indeed real. Our follow-up to that would be, if they wanted to make it work, they could have made it work. Instead of a 4-year deal, they could have made Tyreek Hill's deal a 10-year deal and really did a salary cap as fake thing. But... point very valid and noted that it could only happen for a couple people, not for everybody. We will act accordingly going forward. $850 million from Buffalo opens by 2026. $0 the Chargers because the Rams, I believe, were the ones paying for that entire thing. Las Vegas Raiders got $750 million to come to the new city. Las Vegas was pumped about it, I assume. Atlanta, $214 million. Minnesota, $498 million. That's a nice stadium. San Francisco, $114 million. New York teams, 0. They're both in New Jersey. Dallas, $444 million. Oh, I must have been wrong. $620 million here in Indy. That's a lot. $346 million in Arizona. Here we go. So that's a good deal out of Indy, huh?
Yeah, damn.
How much did the stadium cost to build?
I'll find it.
I don't know.
Lucas.
Very nice stadium.
Very
It
nice.
is.
Yeah.
And it hosts everything. It hosts Big Ten, whatever championship game every year. It does.
Final Four.
They have
Says it
all
costs
those. Are they back
$720
now?
million.
Like with all those things they have, like the business meetings and stuff.
Yeah, all the conventions are in town.
I mean, that's what. Yeah, Big Ten Media Days used to be there. Like, yeah, that's how everything runs.
I believe Monster Jam's coming here, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Combine.
That's how much stadiums have gone up.
$720 million is how much the Colts Stadium was?
Yeah. Heinz in 2001 was 280.
Put that tweet back.
Jimmy.
Good for Jim.
Jimmy. Jesus.
That's
How much is
awesome.
being have a hype at 100 million?
James. Couldn't sell one of the London pianos?
Fucking love football around here.
Yeah, they do.
All right? They fucking love football around here.
In the lucasoilstadium.com, it says the stadium was financed with funds raised jointly by the state of Indiana and the city and in conjunction with the Colts.
Well, congrats to all three parties.
Nice.
That's right.
Finding $720.
Jesus Christ.
That's awesome.
Let's get to a break on that note. Holy hell, there had to be some pissed off fucking people.
Was Jim swinging the hammer himself inside the stadium?
There had to be some pissed off folks.
Yeah.
I would assume Los Angeles was still a open area then, right?
Yeah.
So that was back in the day whenever every team was like, we'll go to LA.
Yeah.
You don't want to build a new stadium? We'll go to LA.
Because that was what, 2013, Lucas Oil? 2012?
No, way before me. 2008, maybe
okay.
2007, I think.
So yeah, way before LA teams.
Plus, Lucas Oil paid $120 million to naming rights. So I mean, Jim made.
Jimmy didn't pay a dime.
Yeah.
Broke even.
$20 million.
He's a billionaire for a reason, man. He knows
I
what he's
guess. I have a big problem with this. I'll be honest with you. I do.
It's usually like a hotel tax they put on for all the hotel rooms or whatever in the area. Like they get the money all different kind of ways.
This is horseshit.
Connor, I mean, I believe you're probably paying for that stadium now.
Yeah, you live down.
Yeah, and I got a fucking problem with Jim Irsay now. I'll tell you what.
All right, let's get to a break. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for Jim.
Our
the
hard-earned
Colts.
money.
Hey, good for Indy to still have a team.
Yeah. Until they riot, the people better be fucking grabbing their pitchfucks right now.
We
and
love the
headed to-
Colts here, Palm.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much we love them. I mean, shit, we're paying that much money and we're not even making the playoffs. What the fuck is going on? Jesus Christ.
And you got a Super Bowl shortly after it was built.
Yep, and by the way, it was before you were here, obviously. Perfect Super Bowl. Perfect Super Bowl.
Great weather.
I guess.
Citizens of Indiana put that thing together.
Yeah.
Good people here. We're back in 4, answering phone calls on a 5 Energy phone line. 18334 McAfee. May 20. New stadium.
Are you shitting me?
Back in 4. How come that's not talked about on like Business Today or whatever that shit I did? What did I do?
Business Insider?
What was that show?
Bloomberg.
There, is that talked about on there? I'd assume there's a couple.
Probably.
Wow.
I might be burying those.
Back in 4. See you then. Saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that was from Jim Irsay. What was that? And have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, I mean, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings. And for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. So, pretty cool experience. Pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch. I got Faneca. I got these guys in the background.
Boys, how you? Congratulations! Yeah. Congratulations, boys! All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady, you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was 17 going into that. And, you know, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking and nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff Hall of Famer, Peyton Manning. Don't break the table, obviously.
I just break shit.
Sorry, man.
Somebody came sprinting behind the barrier and tried to spear him.
I fucking dare somebody.
Oh, no!
I dare the next ass kicking.
What?
Saudi Arabia.
What?
Riyadh.
What?
Taking a jet plane.
What?
All the way there.
What?
All the way back.
What?
On the way back.
What?
WWE champion.
Like a
Hell yeah!
Guys destroyed our shit. Welcome back to the show here on this Monday, March 28, 2022. League meetings are currently happening in West Palm Beach, Florida. AJ Hawk currently in Ohio. The Toxic Table here in studio at Ty Schmidt in a gorgeous John Deere hat.
Thank you. Thank you. Nothing runs like a deer, so I just figured to let people know, remind them.
Did you just get that hat?
No, I've had this for shit since I had my shit kickers working on the farm. My hands in the dirt. It looks a little nicer, ran it through the wash recently.
Is that during the flooding of the house or?
I wish if I would have been wearing this while all that stuff was going on, I'm guessing I would have never had any issues and I would have been able to get all that water out stat.
So you're telling me you've had that John Deere for a long time? You didn't just get that John Deere?
No, pretty much came out the womb with this thing on.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get it last week from that guy?
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe.
At Boston Connor, 10 Diggs wearing an incredible hat as well. Shout out to good buddy that sent all the John Deere stuff.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
From Jim's Tractor Company or something like
Randall,
that.
good guy.
Yeah,
Randall, good
thank
guy.
you, Randall.
Tractor Supply?
Maybe.
I don't know. He has the John Deere deal here in our area.
He's the plug.
He's the plug for the John Deere. He sent something to the office to say thank you to Ty. Now, not that hat, obviously, because Ty was born in that one.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested to find out that John Deere sub-licensed their shit to different people. That's smart. That's like Walmart mentality.
Hell yeah.
Because they have to pay you, and then they could sell the stuff. You don't even have to sell the stuff to make the money.
Bingo. That's why Deere stock's never been higher.
Reynolds Stock Farm Equipment.
Oh,
thank you,
Reynolds Farm Equipment.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Me and Zito had a rough handoff there. I mean, that was a tough one. The Chicago accent into my ear.
Mm-hmm.
Reynolds Farm Equipment.
There it is. Let's get the phones here on the 5 Energy phone line. We are not sponsored by John Deere, by the way. If Bobcat wants to get in, we would love it.
Absolutely.
Hey, we would be pumped, wouldn't we?
But Kubota.
Hey, I'm down with Kubota.
Sure.
No, Kubota's got those seeds. They did that seed thing.
Oh, that's right.
What about New Holland? Good. It's good too.
New Holland, two different words there. New space Holland. I've seen their obviously heavy machinery before.
Whoever's paying for their own warehouses.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean?
Just in general.
Oh, you're talking about what we just chatted about there? Yeah, whoever's building their own stuff. That's wild. We just learned something crazy that we're going to have to talk about off air.
I'm living.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Pissed.
We're still paying.
What
for
are you
it.
talking about, dude?
Who's building warehouses right now?
No, I think he was talking about stadiums.
Talking about fucking Jim Irsay stealing our money.
Whoa. It's not. It's
cool.
It's out of towners that spend money in town.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the money's coming from.
It's horseshit.
It used to be you when you would just travel in here, stay at hotels and stuff like that. But instead, now you're a local. Now you get to reap the benefits of having the Indianapolis Colts in town. And although they didn't make the playoffs last year, we got Matty Ice now, dude.
Yeah, and
going to the Super Bowl. We're dancing again.
I love Matty Ice, but because of this whole stadium shit, I'm thinking about going homeless again because I do not want to pay taxes.
Are you
To
serious?
a goddamn city that has a team that won't go to the playoffs, okay?
All right. Listen, the team's going to the playoffs. Let's all relax. Let's go to Army of Nugs in Arizona. This guy smokes a lot of reefer, it sounds like. What's going on, Army?
What's going on, boys and ladies?
Nice. I like that. What's going on, dude?
Feeling good, man. Feeling right. It's a beautiful day, heavy on the vitamins.
What?
Vitamins for veterans. That's what we're about over here.
Hey, let's go. Army of Nugs. Is that a business? Is that your name? What are we talking about?
We're talking about just Army of Nugs, man. Social media, you can find me. Not on Facebook, though, but you'll find me if you look.
All right. What do you guys do? You sell reefer to raise money for veterans?
Oh, I don't do anything. I just support medical cannabis, and I'm a veteran. And it helps me, and it helps a lot of veterans. And it should be federally legal for veterans because, there's 39 states that offer it medically, and there's no VAs that do.
All right. Hey, we're with you, pal.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate you, man. Oh, Wiz Khalifa probably in on that as well. I believe he was doing some research for that. That is something that's fascinating because you're allowed to get a pill. You're not allowed to get the marijuana, though. Fascinating. I believe that medicinal stuff that some governments agree on and then some governments don't is very fascinating to me because don't they all have doctors, and don't the places that that do it, they seem to be the highest of education, right?
That's right.
Isn't that the thing?
Mm-hmm.
So are their doctors wrong? Is their research completely wrong? How come other governments and doctors say, no, I don't believe that research, I need to see more research? And then how come we're just supposed to believe anybody that says any particular stat, because wouldn't the governments that are saying they're good be seeing the same stats by the governments that are saying it's bad? I don't know, AJ. That's a fascinating thing. That's interesting to me. It's almost like people are motivated by other things other than just facts.
What?
Well.
Huh. We'll carry on. Shout out to that guy calling it. Didn't get his name.
No.
By the way. Still don't know his name.
Did he have a question?
No, I think he was just getting a plug in there for medical cannabis, which, by the way, all right, dude.
Yep.
Would not like to turn into that, but shout out to the vets, dude. You know what I mean? Matt in Chicago, what's going on, pal?
Oh, shit. Pat, AJ, boys, minus Ty. How we doing?
Keep it moving.
Alrighty.
Loser.
Fucking Washington, the football team. They're not the fucking Commanders of the football team. Why? Anyway, how do you go out and trade for a Carson Wentz after you see him, inconsistent all year last year, go into the last 2 games of the season and straight up lose, being a horrible leader? How do you go out, trade draft capital, pay him $25 to $30 million? That's a lot of money. And you think that he's that much better than Taylor Heineke? I don't see it. Heineke's a proven playoff performer. I don't fucking see it, what they're doing. Pissing me off. I'm not even a fucking fan of theirs. It just makes no sense.
All right. I like that. Matt's very passionate about the Commanders football team.
Yeah, respect
and he's
it.
also very passionate about the Bears team. He just doesn't like bad football decisions, he says. Being a Bears fan, bad football decision?
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
I mean, it just tells you, excluding me, guy's a loser, loser's mentality.
Good
Makes
guy.
sense. He's a Bears fan.
Need dogs, don't you?
Yeah, we do need more dogs, okay? That guy doesn't have a dog mentality. I'm sorry.
He had a pretty big dog mentality dogging the Commanders.
He
though.
did. He did. You're right.
And he buried Carson pretty good in there. I mean, he buried Carson a lot. Would like to say that we stand firmly on the side of great Carson is great.
Yes.
Great. But then there's the thing that's coming alongside great Carson. They call it luggage in real life, but I think in this particular world, it's just like the other side of him. There's something happening where you're like, well, why are we doing that? And can he break out of that? Obviously, that's TBD, I guess. Wasn't able to do it here in Indy. We'll see if he's able to do it in Washington. But that was an interesting point. He's like, Heineke and Carson. Is that a big upgrade? Is that a question a lot of people are asking, AJ?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like at least if you're a Washington fan, you have to like that they're trying. They're doing something. Like you wouldn't want, say Heineke was a starter next year or somebody else that didn't trade for someone like Carson Wentz, a so-called big-name quarterback. I think people would get really upset if they're just middle of the road. They have 4 wins. Like, hey, we didn't really try to go find a quarterback.
Connor, you were giving an interesting look there.
Well, I was going to say, to your point, like his alter ego, Carl Danger, is one of the sometimes the best quarterback, but then like the one time he put the ball on the ground and then he stood up and threw it in a triple coverage and it was a completion. But then other times where it's, the Niners in the rain and he's lucky it was raining because he threw 17 interceptions.
Carl Danger. Hey, Carl Danger will get out there and give you cardiac arrest.
He will.
I mean, he is.
Maybe Ron Rivera is like the calming influence that he needs.
That's what I'm saying. He could still change, I think. Everybody says no, but there is, in my eyes, there's a decision that could still be made since this is probably, it is his final. Yeah. This is his final, I think, and he knows that.
He sprained both of his ankles on one play and he didn't change. I don't know what else. Is he going to have to get his legs broken for him to finally be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to just take a couple sacks.
I think he's already done that.
When he showed up, he looks professional, though. Remember.
Well,
showed up in a suit.
Yeah.
Colors of the team.
Jesus Christ.
He turned over a whole new stone. He's mature, Carson.
Yeah, maybe. Just never put those colors on again.
He's put every Sunday.
Every Sunday, yeah.
It's going to be
And
disgusting.
Thursday and Monday.
Leave the helmet on.
Probably not Saturday because
they'll go. Oh yeah, it's playoffs. Oh, let's go to the phone. The Commanders did not deserve that. They've been very close.
Yeah.
They have a team over there. They're just trying to build a whole new brand, needing a new quarterback. They didn't think Heineke could carry them from football team to Commanders era. And it's kind of tough on old Heineke, but he's got no shot. They're paying Carson $30 million.
Correct.
Heineke, you are backing this dude up. You need to know that.
Might draft a guy. And, I mean, they do have, like, a nice little team together, but they also were throwing punches on the sideline against the Cowboys.
No, that's going to happen. Hey, that's good. That's good passion.
Yeah.
That's good passion.
Sure.
Just like Mike McDaniel told the media this morning at league meetings, Teddy Bridgewater is a backup to Tua. Everybody has been explained that. I forget the word that he used.
Explicit.
Yeah, explicitly, yeah. It's been explicitly explained to the players, Mike says, about Tua and Teddy Bridgewater. That's a great backup, AJ. Yeah. Teddy Bridgewater is a great backup. Tua's getting going. This guy's having conversations with Bill Belichick, looking cool at the league meetings. He sat in Ty's seat, gave us a great interview. What an exciting time. They're trading and bringing in Tyreek Hill and other guys. Let's go, Dolphins.
Yeah, old Goomp and the rest of the Dolphins fans have to be super excited. Teddy B, not only is he a great backup in case they need him, I feel like Tua can pick up some tricks from him, I'm guessing. Teddy's been in the league a long time, made a lot of plays, so it'll only help.
Goompy, you pumped, dude?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fins up, dude.
Tua's making more money than Teddy. That is
true.
That's the easy way to tell who's a starter, who's not. Like, who's making more money?
Plus, it's like Jacoby and Phillip Rivers, but
they're both making the same.
They're both making 20, right? Or maybe Phil was making 25, Jacoby's making 15.
No, Jacoby was making 20, I think.
Yeah.
Phil was making 25.
Okay.
$45 million on two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Neither of them are on the team, though.
Made the playoffs, though.
Damn right. All right. The show's over, thank God. We're back tomorrow. AJ, anything to say to the people before Chris Mad Dog Russo, who's on in 6 minutes? We'll see you tomorrow. AJ. AJ, what's that all about?
Which one me to jump in?
I thought you missed your spot there.
My bad. Signal me next time.
As I was going to send it to you, I looked up, 4 seconds. That would have been the best of all time. I've given you a minute and a half.
Yeah.
I've given them
None of them are.
15 seconds, 20 seconds. Nothing's good enough over there when I send it to you.
You're right. Nothing. You might as well stop doing it then.
No. Still need it because one day there's going to be something that's going to come out. It's going to be, the radio listeners are going to be, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. First hour, missed it. Just fucking terribly. Feel bad about it, honestly, because there's people that listen to this show.
But still, like, dude, if they're listening in their car or truck driving and you just blow right through the break and it goes to commercial, if they're a fan of the show, they understand. Like, they know, hey, this happens. I don't want to cut off a good thing.
Herb Street was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we talked like life in there, too.
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Yeah, learned about his dogs, the whole thing.
Loves those dogs, huh?
He does. He's got a 1-year-old named Mitch. That guy's got a lot of energy. He's a golden retriever. I don't know when Herbie's going to be walking him in the fall, though, because that goddamn schedule is about to be tough. What are you going to say about Herbie?
Well, not about Herbie, but burning through the brakes on Sirius is like unintentionally a great pub for the YouTube. It's like, hey, that doesn't happen over here.
Yeah, but that's an interesting business move, you know? It's an interesting business move.
What does Mad Dog think about it?
Mad Dog has no idea, I don't think, that we even...
I think he knows a lot more than you think he knows about this show. Why would he stop at Radio Row and yell
because that was
at the stage for a while?
That was literally the intro and the exit. That was where he had to walk in from.
Yeah. He didn't have to say anything, though.
Yeah, but all he said was, hey, don't fucking blow off Shine tomorrow.
Yeah, did he say anything other than that? I don't remember.
Stop the barking again.
I think he said he loves you. Love you, Pat. Love you, Patty. Yeah, he did.
That's very nice of him. Very nice of him. Our deal with them's coming up soon. Like, real soon. Real soon. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to go.
How is Sirius... I don't know. Like, are they adding new shows all the time to different channels?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about them. I should probably do more research, but I don't know anything about it. All I do know is the last conversation we had went hilariously, and then it ended, and we haven't spoke to each other since.
Sounds good.
Since I've started repping myself in all these conversations, that one went great, and then it just kind of ended, and then haven't heard a single thing since.
Hey, you guys were with Cato Kalin this weekend?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Trade?
Good question.
We don't know. I'll tell you what, not 100% sure. Wait till you see the clip, obviously. We had a chance to hang out with the Galante family. Love them. Literally. They are so cool to us.
Great people.
They are. Should have seen these boots that Jimmy had on.
Ooh.
And, one of the things you would think you wouldn't want to do is like piss off Jimmy Galante or the Galante family,
Sure, makes sense.
AJ just refuses to answer FaceTimes whenever I'm around him.
Yeah. Can't have
He
it.
was very angry.
Doesn't that make you, it makes me feel really good, by the way. Because, like, I'll FaceTime you when I actually have a question and need an answer, and you won't answer, and then I'll get a text, I don't know, 19 hours later, and it's like, okay, probably had something for you 19 hours ago. I don't remember what that is now. What's the purpose of this? You got things to do. But whenever I'm with, Jimmy Galante, I'm like, I'll FaceTime. He goes, let's FaceTime him. I'm like, yeah, I'll FaceTime. This would be great. Knowing there was little to no chance of him answering.
Sure.
Even screenshotted after the AJ Hawk's not available with me and Jimmy on there. Screenshot that, send it to him. Hope you're happy, AJ, is what I said. And then he sends me a text that goes, next time you're with Mr. Jimmy Galante, I need a warning that you're FaceTiming me. I refuse to miss another one of these or something like that.
Oh.
So now every single day, guess what? When I have a question that I need answered, I'm with Jimmy Galante. I'm FaceTiming. I just left it. So sorry. So now it'll be the boy who cried wolf every single time. I'm excited for the next time I'm with him and you don't answer because it's kind of got worn out. But he wanted to talk to you, AJ, and you said no.
No, I didn't say no.
Yeah,
you
you hit
gave
the
me no
fuck
heads
up.
up,
You
and
did.
you
Fuck you,
FaceTime
buddy.
me at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, and I just wasn't near my phone or available to get it. And so I texted you back a little bit later and let you know, Jimmy Galante, I mean, he's the king. He's the man. I don't want to miss his call.
Well, you missed
You know
my
that.
call with him. This is twice now, I think.
I didn't know. That's why. What did I text you? Hey, how about a heads up next time, bud? That's what I said.
Oh, like I'm supposed. Oh, how did I know he's going to be like, it's FaceTime AJ Hawk? Okay. Oh, hold on. Sorry, Mr. Galante. He needs a 10 to 15 minute window text message. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I don't know.
No. I'm saying if you thought you might FaceTime me with him, or you were going to be with Jimmy, like maybe earlier in the day at some point. Hey, we might stick around. We might,
AJ,
if you're going to be alert, we might
AJ,
call
do you know Pat?
What happened?
Do you know Pat and how he operates?
Yes, I do. I know I'm speaking to a brick wall, but hey, you might as well try.
No, it's not a brick wall. I'm just very much in the moment right now.
That's a great thing. It's a great trait.
Okay, but it's not so good for this type of thing. This type of thing is not great. So maybe if somebody's around, okay, so somebody who's around needs to send AJ a bird call that, hey, there's potentially going to be something that's going to come. That's kind of smart. That's a smart move, I think.
Then I can at least, I've never had my ringer on my phone or anything, so I'm not going to actively see it unless I'm right there looking at it.
I don't know, when's the video going to come out, Foxy?
Hopefully tomorrow.
It's an interview you did with him?
Yeah, I did sit down.
Barbara Walters style.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I don't know if that's true. I'm actually pretty excited to see how the video comes out.
But why is Cato Kalin involved?
Good question.
I asked.
Cato's awesome. I love Cato.
He had energy, dude.
Big Wisconsin guy.
Brought the juice.
He had energy, dude. He loved you,
Brought
too.
that
Yeah, I
juice.
remember he brought up you like 2-3 times.
He's a big Packer guy.
You, him, and Oj hanging out?
Bro, he had energy. I'm talking energy. As soon as we got there. I'm like, oh, fuck, we almost just died on a plane. So sorry. Let me wake up a little bit. The K-Train's here.
Yeah.
Good to see you, dude. He had energy. There was another guy named Canadian Charlie.
Yeah.
He has the greatest Canadian accent of all time.
He does.
I was on a call one time, and Canadian Charlie dropped into the call, like, oh, we're going to connect this guy. I thought I was getting ribbed. This is an impersonator doing a Canadian accent. This guy's Canadian accent is the most, flawless Canadian accent. Every word is hit in the most Canadian accent of all time, and he speaks clearly and projects his voice.
Love that.
He's in there as well. A big announcement. Big announcement.
Big
for that.
announcement.
We're lucky to be a part of it.
I'm looking forward to seeing what that might be.
Almost died getting there.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That would have been cool.
Do you get sick? Do you feel sick when the plane starts getting bumpy and all that?
Depends how bumpy. I'm past the point of just standard shit getting me, because I have to be, because I fly literally every single week, and in this winter weather that we've had, and turnover of seasons, I've realized,
it's windy.
is a bit windier. So every landing has been interesting. Every takeoff has been interesting, but normally you can find an altitude where it's pretty smooth. And if there's a little bit, I'm cool. You know, but if we're falling out of the fucking sky, I mean, there's going to be a little bit of a what's going on?
You go knock on the you knock on the door, ask the pilots what's up.
I never know how to do that because I don't want them to think like I have lacked faith in them because we still got to fly.
It's not them. You can just question, like, ask about the weather. Oh, this weather's pretty rough, huh?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, that's what causes the plane to bounce around.
Well, it's the different airstream. Yeah, this one it sounded like there were some decisions. There were some decisions made.
Guy's still working on getting his license.
No. We don't know if that's true or not.
10,000 foot free fall.
But literally, when we could see, I watch. Okay, I sit in a seat in which I can see the pilots operate. I know there's a lot of spinning of shit. I know like the classic, they're going to hit 2 buttons, the sound's going to happen, this is going to happen, the whole thing. But this particular time, it just felt like there was not a confident ever.
No.
There was never a confident, you know, and the co-pilot was doing a lot. I mean, the co-pilot was doing a lot of the, like, flipping, switching, let's stay straight on the runway.
I'm also not sure I've never taken off straight up at a 90
So Teterboro is an airport that you have to do shit like that because how short the runways are. But with that being said, valid. Doesn't have to be like it was just a wild scene, dude. It was a wild scene. I feel soft even talking about it, but I mean, whenever you're playing Live Like You Were Dying on the ground as soon as you get there and wanting to kiss the ground like the Pope. You know?
We've been on enough flights to know.
Yeah, well, that sounds so self. You know.
Did you get? Were you more worried because you saw the clip of that awful deal where the plane was plummeting straight down that crashed over there? Was that China?
Yeah.
I didn't see
that.
That was bad.
Oh, scary. Very scary.
Don't look at that.
From like 20,000 feet, just straight down.
Wow.
Not watching that.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Sounds like you just described it for me.
Yeah, you don't need to watch it.
I assumed you had seen that recently and you were in your plane. Like, oh, I just saw this happen.
No, by the way, I'm pretty pumped that we didn't.
Yeah.
I'm just going to continue not to look at that. I'm going to ban those words actually in my Twitter mentions.
Okay.
All right. We out of here?
I like those white laces.
Oh, these are the bin 5s, dude.
What?
How'd you get them?
How
Bin?
did you get
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, I mean, these are bin 5s, dude. Don't worry about it. What?
What does that mean?
Bin 5s, bro. You never heard of them.
You don't know.
I know, you're right.
You're so
I'm not a sneakerhead like you.
It's that bin 5 deal, dude.
You're so dumb.
Yeah, they came with wax on the box.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, pretty big deal, these ones.
Yeah, it's part of the Bin 23 collection. AJ, get cultured, dude. Come on.
Thank you. That's why Mitt is here. Thank you, Mitt. I appreciate it.
Top row.
Thank you, Mitt.
Jesus.
All right, that's the show. Hammer down. Hammer down in about 24 minutes at youtube.com/hammer. That's DAHN. We'll be back tomorrow. One last phone call here on our way out. Let's go to Dakota in New York. What's going on, Dakota?
How you doing, Pat and the boys?
Keep it moving, Dakota.
I was wondering if I would get to see you put that scumbag Tyson Fury through a table at WrestleMania.
All right, so I'm not touching Tyson Fury. Austin Theory, though, is going to get his ass beat. Tyson Fury's got a fight coming up.
Yes.
I'm obviously excited to watch that. No tables will be busted by me or Tyson Fury ever, hopefully. But Austin Theory on Sunday, going to get his ass beat. I'm preparing, AJ. I'm ready. If I want that thing to end in like a minute, you know? I want that to be over.
Why?
Quick. What are you talking about? Like
Why don't you
Tyson?
want to let it? Why don't you let it play out a little bit? Really soak in the atmosphere.
I mean, maybe before the bell. You know?
Yeah, you can soak it in while you're standing over his unconscious body.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're wearing yet?
Well, I know this is going to be in the back pocket. Imagine right after.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You should hit him a few times with that.
That'd be sweet.
That would be cool.
Are you guys doing a thumbtack match?
No, I do not.
Do those happen anymore?
The hum special?
I think I've seen. I think AEW did one. I think recently.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I don't know.
What nut job did that?
That one feels. I think it was.
I think the ladies did.
Yeah, I think it was Britt.
Jesus.
And I don't know. I saw the pictures though, and I was like, I'm gonna try to stay out of that for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
weapons.
Saw Superhoman did one yesterday. Actually, he had a couple of tacks still stuck in his arm. Video hasn't been released yet, but I think.
Oh, just the preview photo?
Yeah. He just had several tacks stuck in his arm. So
Super Humming still got it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's good. Yeah,
That guy's still alive and he's still doing that?
Hey, new video coming out.
Yeah.
Soon. Thriving.
Right today.
Sam Roberts turned me on to him.
Sam Roberts, you friends with him? He was in the building in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He sat with us for a little bit.
It was great
I've
to
never
see.
spoken to Sam, but I used to listen to he and Jim Norton, and they would play the clip, so I went and looked at him after that.
You've really never talked to Sam Roberts?
No.
You're a big fan, though.
Yeah, I listen to all Sam's stuff. Sam doesn't know anything about sports.
Yeah, believe me, I know.
He owns it. He says that.
Yeah, he. Whenever I would do those pre-shows with him, he would always, rock for brain. Like he would. He's the guy, by the way, who's not happy about the public funding.
Oh, he's not?
Well, he's not a sports fan. I assume he doesn't really care, but he's like one of those people who doesn't care about sports.
Yeah.
It's the people who don't care about. I'm not saying Sam would go in on this because it doesn't feel like this is something Sam would touch because Sam, comedy like that type of thing. But he is somebody. The sports.
Not about it.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Not about it.
I'm sure he knows
Fine.
about it, but he's not like into it or whatever. He hasn't answered. Let's see.
It's not about it.
He loves wrestling, dude.
Yeah, he does.
Loves wrestling. He knows everything
He
about it.
has a big role. Like, what does he do for him now?
He hosts the pre-show, I believe. So probably on Saturday he'll be down in Dallas.
Nice.
This is my treatment. I need to text him. I got Jimmy Galante with me.
He was on SmackDown a couple weeks ago too, right?
Sam Roberts, he did an interview with the Usos.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I went crazy. Is that Sam Roberts? So happy for him, man. He's really.
I mean, that's his dream to do anything with wrestling, right?
Yeah, he's really dedicated too. So I was so pumped for him. All right, fuck him. We'll maybe talk to him tomorrow. Talk about WrestleMania. Maybe.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, big WrestleMania this weekend.
Fight week wide.
AJ, I'm in the best shape I've ever been.
You look good. How much you weigh?
Haven't really got on yet. I think I'm in the 20s though.
What about that gentleman that you have the program with? Is he in good shape right now too?
It's a fight. He's always in incredible shape. He's 24 years old. That guy.
He's yoked.
I mean, he is yoked, by the way. I mean, he is. I ain't worried about that though.
Nope.
Look like Tarzan. Eat a swing, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bingo.
Exactly.
That's all that matters. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna Will Smith him, but
Oh, you need to. You need to work that in, please.
You're gonna let him sleep with your wife?
Oh.
No, I'm gonna smack him. What is your problem?
Will didn't allow it, did he?
He was watching.
That's not true.
What?
God, guys.
Who said that?
That's not true.
enough.
You did actually. You kind of alluded to it
I
earlier.
never did. I did not think that was the
Yes,
case.
you
Yeah,
did.
you didn't say people enjoy it. Remember, you actually said at the start.
I didn't say Will
called him
did.
a
I said
cuck.
people enjoy that.
No, whoa. We did
That's
not
what he
know.
did. He
That is
said
not true.
that.
Though.
He had a backpack on. He was sitting in a very similar style chair to the owner, the Mark Davis, and he was watching it. And it looked just like that.
Okay, we don't know. That's not true.
Guys,
Unsubstantiated.
You guys are all lying.
A lot of false news here.
come on.
Guys shouldn't talk about something like that.
Keep
I agree, Goomp.
my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
See, I still thought he was acting there too.
Great acting. If that was acting, I mean, that was real. And everybody else, what if everybody else, and scene? What if, all right, everybody get uncomfortable. Everybody, this is what we're going to do. Everybody be uncomfortable, okay? Oh, what's he going to say next? Oh, my fucking mouth. Oh, my God.
I saw Doug Stanhope, comedian. You probably don't know who he is. Doug Stanhope. I saw him tweet something like, he said if that was fake, Chris Rock would have had a much better response after getting smacked. I was like,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, you're right. Because he would have had something prepared for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, he did say, he was about to.
Yeah, eviscerate.
Imagine Chris Rock's first 10 thoughts.
You could have tackled him from behind as he walked away.
Well, I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about the first 10 things that came to his mind is the exact same 10 things that probably came to everybody's mind. But Chris Rock probably would have delivered it in a little better fashion or whatever. What was coming out? Well, got to see him on tour again.
Yeah, that's
right.
out, I'm
What
sure.
if he says what I wanted to say was... And then I thought about saying he can have like 10 different ones just set up. And then right before I said, boom, another one, I thought to myself, this is the greatest live television of all time. So he gets 10 punchlines in that entire thing if he really wants it.
Yep.
That's going to be must see.
I think so. Yeah.
Good for Chris Rock, dude.
Let's go.
Coming June.
What?
It's coming in June.
To Indy?
Yep.
Here we go.
Hell yeah. I already bought tickets.
What day of the week?
I actually don't know.
It was June 14th, I believe the day was. So
7
I'm not,
p.m. I know.
not sure.
Does he have an opener? Will. What if Will Smith?
Oh.
Slap everybody.
What if he's...
Oh, we can't go.
Why?
It's Flag Day, so we already had plans. We were gonna put one up.
What if Jay does that?
That's true.
It's a good point.
It's true.
Yeah, Jada might be there. Is that a Monday?
Tuesday,
Chris Rock's coming to Indy on a Tuesday?
if that's the 14th.
Man, he's making so much money. If he's doing Indianapolis on a Tuesday, think about what he's got on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. Where's he playing?
Marat.
Theater.
Okay.
I think it has 28 or 18 in it. 100. I've played them a couple times.
Hell yeah.
The New Year's Eve, the classic New Year's Eve was good at night. That was whenever Joey Chestnut drank 13 beers in 61 seconds.
Yeah.
Pints.
Does he get drunk?
Oh, yeah.
Does he get drunk?
Should have seen him an hour and a half later.
Oh, yeah. He sacrificed.
Yeah, for real. How did it hit him?
He sacrificed his body, his mind, and his soul for that particular stunt. And I'll tell you what, the crowd loved it.
Yeah.
The crowd loved it. Just as it would hit you if you were to do it.
I don't think the beers bothered him. It was when we went to the other thing and he was just braining a bottle of vodka on stage. That, I think, is what really got him.
He's unbelievable at chugging and eating. I mean,
Does he do this all the time with alcohol?
I'm not sure. I think maybe we're one of the first ones to ask him. And he just so happened to be in town for another event that day. Or the day after. So it was almost like just the world coming together. Hey, Joey Chestnut was wondering if he could stop by the show. All right, so I send back. Joey Chestnut want to be a part of the show? Joey Chestnut would love to be a part of the show if you have any ideas for him. And this was like day before, I think. I'm like, look, we have Joey Chestnut too. How about you just chug like 2 beers or something? And then the person said, he should chug like a dozen, right? And then they asked him, and then the answer was Baker's dozen, actually.
Yeah.
It was like, he's going to do that? Yeah, he said he feels like he's pretty comfortable in doing that or whatever. I'm like, fucking love Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, holy shit.
I love Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, Joey will drink 40 beers for you. No
That's awesome.
It was amazing. It was standing out the place.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Did you just have him lined up like in glasses and he just pounded them?
Yeah, I had him lined up on a wheeling cart. Boom, 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 boom on glass mugs, or whatever. And then he just went. The first 7 were pretty quick. They were like ziggy zaggy, oi, 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 guy, rest in peace. It was like that. And then the last couple, there was a couple like gulps or whatever. It was still fucking. All right, Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
Get him a huge beer bong next time. Try to do 13 at once.
Oh, that's a good idea. We fucked that one up. I did a.
Might drown himself.
Oh yeah, maybe. That's a lot of brew. Mm-hmm. I did a. It was in the that athletic article. It reminded me. One of our equipment managers in West Virginia would have parties at his house, like pretty notable parties at his house. Always would be going over there. And I happened upon the place a couple of times. First time I went over there, though, they had like a 2.5, 3-story beer bong, just hanging right outside as you show up. So people are on the deck and all the windows are open. There's like a DJ happening and this bong is hanging. There's a bunch of people out front. So I was a pretty good beer chugger. And I showed up, and they're like, Pat, you got to hit this or whatever. And I'm like, what is it? They're like, 6 beers we can fit in this thing or whatever. And it kind of, I'm like, yeah, fucking no problem, dude. So I do it. Boom, take it down. Place goes bananas. Distract. We need to go inside, right? Let's all go inside. I go roundhouse cross street. I mean, 5.5 beers, just projectile vomiting, almost like hitting the wall in front of me. Eyes just completely crying or whatever. Wipe them off, go in a different door. He told the story in The Athletic that I took it down and just kept moving. So I guess I played it off, but I did not. I was damn near, I thought I was dead. Like that thing came. It's almost like the gallon of milk challenge. You ever do that? I did chocolate milk one time, and I got like, I don't know, like that much left. That thing came up faster than you can't even like get it. I mean, your stomach just says, nah, that ain't the case. That's why Joey Chestnut's so impressive, right? Because they can eat all that shit and then just sit it out. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah, I mean, are they allowed to puke after the hot dogs? Like, and
I don't think so.
Is there a certain amount of time where they can't puke?
I don't know. 30 minutes? I don't know.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Is it really? Like they get it pulled? Like Will's about to get his Oscar pulled?
Potentially. I think you have to keep it down.
What, Will?
pull it. Now, the Oscars, whoever puts it on, should be so happy because at least for another year or two, if Will Smith is there, we're going to tune in.
Well, you never know what Will's going to do at the Oscars. I can't wait for that conversation. But also, once you go down that road there, right, don't you have to start looking into all the previous winners? And then a lot of stuff come out about Hollywood?
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
Oh, AJ, don't.
Oh, you mean if you cancel Will for this action, you have to cancel other people for things that they have done.
Correct.
Usually behind closed doors, though.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it'd be stupid to take it away from them.
Well, it just opens a door that then, oh, is that right? Well, how come, boom, movie that Weinstein created won, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, but nothing makes sense. There's no rational thinkers.
Kyrie Irving's back playing basketball.
I watched some of that, man. That dude is fun to watch.
He's so good at basketball. He is so good at basketball. I said his name in the Barclays Center on Friday. Pretty good pop.
Good pop.
And then on Sunday when he came out, good pop. And then how about them cheering for him right before he hits that free throw? I mean, good for Kyrie getting back out there. Now, with that being said, he will forever have people that don't like him because of how everything happened and unfolded.
Well, don't you think he seems like he's okay with it? Like Kyrie's,
yes,
he's a unique dude, man. It's unique what that dude can do with the basketball and how he moves and how quick he is. Like, I forgot what it was like to watch that guy
and how he operates off the court. I'm a big.
Oh yeah.
By the way, because of how good he is at basketball, he also just like a guy we know pretty well. A guy we know. There's people that are just at the top of the top, and everybody wonders. Well, how come they're allowed to act and do different stuff than other people? It's like, well, because Kyrie Irving's one of one on a fucking basketball court. So, like, the Nets are going to stick by him through the entire thing, even no matter how public it gets, no matter how political it gets, no matter how slanderous it got at times for that entire thing from the middle of it all. It's like Kyrie made a decision and said, I ain't changing. You guys are going to change before I change. He won the holdout, by the way.
Big time.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he lose? How much money did he lose?
Yeah, but I don't think Kyrie.
People always point to that. But.
Kyrie knows it's a business and he's going to get his money because somebody's making money. But I don't think at the end of the day, money is what's driving Kyrie Irving. Obviously, yeah, he lost like 100 or something, 20 or something.
Yeah, he lost a lot. I think it's like close to what Ben Simmons lost.
Which is?
I think he ended up losing $20 million.
It's a lot.
A lot of money. That's all. I'm not saying it. Let's get out of here. I'm not saying it.
I mean,
yeah, you will.
Almost died on Saturday. You might as well.
Oh, you're saying don't hold any thoughts.
Exactly. Live like you were dying.
I'm on 2.7 seconds on a boat named Fu Manchu. And I love deeper, and I spoke sweeter, and I gave forgiveness I've been denied. That song hit on Saturday.
It did.
Man, Cowboy Tone was in the back of the plane dead, and then he put a cap back on, and he was, I went skydiving. Man, it was... What a moment, man.
Unbelievable.
See, that's like that moment in the locker room after a win. You get those 5 minutes to really feel alive.
Enjoy it.
That's what that tour around the airport was after we landed to get to our little airport. Yep. I mean, it was a full on. This is what we fought for.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is Tim McGraw in WrestleMania?
Oh.
He's jacked. You see how tan and ripped he is.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm getting spray tan soon, so.
Here we go.
I don't know
Where?
I don't know what. The last one I got, gave my entire body a fungus. So.
Yeah. Gotta research that.
Who's cleaning their spray tan booths?
I bet Michael Cole knows because he gets a spray tan in Texas like every week, right?
He's lost like a good 20, 30 pounds. His head looks like a turtle popping out of those old suits. He had these he had these old suits because that guy's been on the road for 25 years. He missed 2 shows. 25 years. I don't know if he's hit 25 yet. There's a date. But he's been 24 years, very close to 25 years. Only missed 2 shows. He's lived on the road. So his weight has fluctuated in his travel and everything like that. His suits, though, were set for a Michael Cole that is not as thin as Michael Cole currently is. He looks unbelievable. Jawline, face, he looks like he's in great shape. I'm like, Cole, you getting back in the ring, Cole? What's going on?
Whoa.
What if he pops up in the middle of this match?
That'd be awesome.
And punches me in the head?
That would not be awesome.
What if he turns heel? What if he turns heel in the middle of this thing? That'd be wild. All right.
He'll be upset. Yeah, I know. And he'll be upset that you turned on Vince and that you're taking care of Vince's boy.
Yeah, because Michael Cole is the voice of the WWE.
Yeah. Who's going to call your match though? Because what if you look back, you look over the announcer's table, and Cole's not there anymore? It's some other people doing the announcing, and you're like, oh no. Where's Cole? And he pops out from under the, what do you call it? The apron underneath the ring?
Oh, I was thinking like through the ring, like Undertaker.
Yeah.
Oh. Michael Cole's head pops up out of the ring.
And does like the Gilbert.
He's in his singlet.
Yeah.
He's in his singlet with the headgear on. He just pops up, and I'm like, Cole, good to see you. And he's like, Will Smith, right to the face. I'm like, you asshole! I knew it. I knew it all along. 10:45 or 3:45.
Hell yeah.
Hammered down. Let's get out of here. Can't thank you all enough. Hashtag PMS WrestleMania Monday. Also, your cash tag in there. Tweet something nice to somebody. Tweet something nice to somebody because you never know when you're going to take your last breath.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Okay? Hashtag PMS WrestleMania Monday. Your cash tag. Tweet something nice to somebody. We will randomly select 2 people to win $5,000.
Wow.
Make sure you have your cash tag. Can't thank you enough. We'll be doing giveaways all week. WrestleMania Sunday, my dream come true. Let's enjoy the hell out of it as we cover the biggest league on earth, the NFL. Hopefully more news breaks mañana. Can't wait for you all to, see what I do on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
I've been putting in a lot of work, AJ. I've been putting in a lot of work.
I can't wait. Do you have any idea what time frame you may be going on?
No, I don't know anything.
What time does WrestleMania start on Sunday?
8 or 7. Ooh.
And ends at what, 4 a.m.? When's it end?
Well, there's 2 of them. WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday.
And they both start at night that late?
Yes.
I don't know.
7 or 8, I think, both. Till like.
But is 7 a kickoff show? Like, is there a kickoff show for WrestleMania Saturday and a kickoff show for WrestleMania Sunday? I don't know.
No, I'm not sure.
6:30 on Saturday. Zito's telling me this is what I'm gonna be doing at 6:30 on Saturday. Probably arriving, some headphones on. Getting in there,
Locked in,
getting in the mood. Oh my God, about to go fight a guy. You know what I mean? What, dude?
Oh yeah.
How do you do the commentary when are you guys rotating back and forth just like a pay-per-view?
Yeah, it's just standard pay-per-view. We'll be switching back and forth.
This says the main card starts both nights at 8.
All right, here we go. Main card at 8.
Right.
I think I'm on the main card. I got a graphic.
You gotta be on the main
Gotta be on
card.
the main card, I think.
What-
Who cares?
What's the undercard on?
On the cock, peacock.
It's all on the cock though, right?
Yeah, everything's on the cock.
Okay.
All right. We'll be back on the YouTube tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
We're on the cock Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because Friday Hall of Fame after SmackDown. Saturday, WrestleMania Saturday, and I think NXT's in the afternoon, and then WrestleMania Sunday. Then we're back here, Indianapolis, Indiana, on Monday. Can't wait. This is going to be a blast. Thank you all so much for allowing me to live this dumb life. Thank you all for supporting us. Shout out to Herbie and Rappaport. We'll see you tomorrow. AJ, have a great afternoon, pal. If I FaceTime you, I'm with Jimmy Galante. See you all. Bye.